You're all extremely welcome to the practical session of this Diploma in Web Design course. So in this lesson, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be building our company website. No, I never am going to live that down, Wayne, never will. I've got a habit of not pressing the record button, afraid of that little blinking red light. Anyway, so what we are going to be doing is we are going to be building a company website from start to finish. So we are going to do a pragmatic approach to this. So we already saw the brief so we already went through the client brief in the last lesson. So I'm just going to quickly slide through these. These are the same slides as last time. So we already went through all this and we saw it in the introduction session as well. So we'll just let this fly through the screen nice and quickly. And then we'll actually get to the actual brief. So testing and delivery, got all that. And then we've got the maintenance. And then we give our development to someone else. And then maintenance, of course, and then our client. So our client is Carl's Surf Shack, right? And Carl's Surf Shack is a surfing centre on the west coast of Ireland. And these are the various sections that we're going to need. So we're going to need a section for equipment rental, surfing lessons, surfing camps. And we're going to need some products, and we're going to have all that kind of stuff in there as well. There's a few of the products that they plan on selling. And the purpose of the site, of course, to promote the surfing school shop, to allow prospective clients to book a place and get in contact. And to provide the location and directions to the customers. And I'm going to be showing you a little trick that I have to actually, so you'll be able to type in your address and you'll be able to get to where the surf shack is. It will open up in Google Maps, so all you need to do is provide them with your address, and then it will open up in Google Maps and calculate the route for you. So I'll show you how to do that with a nice little form. And then, of course, the goals are to reach a larger audience, to take in more bookings, and to be found on Google. So we'll be able to get the website up and running. We'll have all that kind of stuff. We'll leave the find till Google phase until the SEO lesson, because that's when we'll be breaking into Google Analytics, and it would be nice to have a nice site there to be testing that on. So we can have all that then, and then also on that SEO lesson we'll also be linking, how to link your social media profile directly to your website and confirm that that's your site, to give more authority to your social media profiles as well. So, perfect. And then, of course, the target audience, anyone with an interest over 16, schools and local clubs in the surrounding area, and parents in the local area or holidaying with children in the local area. All right, so that's perfect. That's all perfect. So, what we are going to do is we are going to open up Google Chrome, and we're going to find ourselves a nice boilerplate to start from. So remember, just like with all my projects, I never want to see something given back to me just the way I do it. Yeah, so I don't want to see anything given back just the way I do it, because you're more than capable. I've seen you, and I've seen all your work over the past few months. You're more than capable than making these projects really your own. And even it's just editing a few files here and there, editing a few things. Now, so far, what I've been doing is I've been giving you simple projects, and you've been taking those simple projects and using those as your templates or your boilerplates, if you rather, and then you've been building on top of them. Well, now it's time to start supercharging. So we're still going to develop with Bootstrap, but let's take a look at what we can use. So, Bootstrap. Getbootstrap.com. So, what was I going to say? Yes, so as practical web designers, so as you can imagine, as a practical web designer, I'll pull up that HTML5 boilerplate. So here we go. Let's just download this for a second. We'll just download the default one, just so we can take a look at the code that's underneath it. So as you can imagine, when you're actually in the industry, or even, so actually before I go into this full on, can I just get a bit of information from my students? Who out there is looking to become a freelance web designer, to build websites for other people as their primary goal? Yeah? And who out there is here to make their own website? Who out here is this primary goal to make their own website? Yes? All right, so we got split down the middle. All right. And can I ask, is it websites that you're looking to build, or is it, crazy new technologies that you're trying to that you want to build? Just while I open these up here. Both as well. All right, very good. All right, so website and bit of new tech and everything. All right. Well, here's the thing. Here is a HTML5 template. Now you can already see how code heavy that is, yeah? So I'll show you an example. You asked me how long does it actually take to build a website? I'll show you the first website I built. Formicon, formicon.com. So this is the very first website that I built and put up on the World Wide Web. It's not great, it's built with the previous version of Bootstrap, and I don't keep it updated because the company is not really operating that much anymore. But this was the first website I built. Now I built this from absolute scratch. So there was no theme involved, there was nothing like that. I included Bootstrap and I had to code it all from the absolute beginning. Now this took 20 hours to build. I remember because I had to give a quote on it, and this did take 20 hours to build. 20 hours back-to-back coding sessions. So that's not including breaks, that's not including weekends, that's not including, you know, days off and everything like that. It took 20 hours to sit down and get all of that. So guys, yes, so sorry, I'll just bring up Chris. We'll address that then at the end again when it comes to question time. All right. Okay. So yes, so 20 hours physical hours just to create a few pages. Now actually, it was 20 hours to create a few pages, and it actually took about 5 hours just to do this, just so I could click on a form and do something like this. But remember, I didn't have anyone to teach me how to do this at the time, so so it was quite difficult to pick that up. But here's the thing. Once I actually started developing, well then it all became about the themes, because that's what I could get done in 20 hours. But with the same amount of hours, you can supercharge your designs by building on top of boilerplates, by building on top of existing themes, because that's what they're there for. They're created by open source, and just like all my projects, and most of my websites out there, are actually free to use. You can take my CSS, you can take my templates, and you can build on top of them, or you can take them and use them as is, but that is never recommended. So, great place to go is you first Google Bootstrap template. So if you've decided you're going to build with Bootstrap, so just like you would WordPress or any other thing, if we're going to be building with a framework, why not supercharge our designs? So let's go up Bootstrap themes. Now, we can either go with the simple themes that are provided by Bootstrap. Yes, so here are the bare bones themes. Now I don't particularly like these, and they're very much all around the web. You might notice this layout quite a lot. The freelancer theme from Bootstrap is used quite a lot, and the grayscale theme from Bootstrap is used quite a lot. And you can see why, because they're actually beautiful themes. Are they not? Would you not agree that these are actually quite nice themes? They've got everything included. You'll notice the menu bar. So do you see the way the menu bar actually highlights when you're at that section? Download is at that section. Contact is at that section. These are all things that we add in. So just as we add in jQuery and as we add in Bootstrap and stuff like that, these are little things that you can add in. But here's the thing. What we're going to do is I'm going to actually go to a better place. I am going to go to Wrap. All right, so Wrap. I like these guys, and these guys are actually very nice place for themes. I'll place this up there now. Just give me 2 seconds. Let me see if I can find a nice one. The theme that I'm looking for exactly is actually called Hymo theme. So let's see if I can find that for you guys. So let me see. Bootstrap. Here we go. Bootstrap. So let's open up some more. We'll see if we can find it here. Here we go. Hymo, I should say. Yeah. So I personally prefer working with this theme here. So this theme here to me is like the Divi theme of Bootstrap. It gives you absolutely everything to work with, and then you can start cutting stuff out. So what I will do, I can't check. Where's the license on this? Can I post this up to you directly? Now, what these guys do require, they do require you to log in. So I do actually have an account with these guys. So let me just remember what this is. It's Web Design Show. And my password is blah, 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 blah. Nope, that's not my password. Maybe it's blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that was the one. All right, so that is my, so that's all you need. You just need to sign in there. And then you can just go ahead and click download now. Yep, so now we've got ourselves another theme. Now, what is very good about this is, so let's take a look inside this for a second. Let me pull this up, Hymo, and let's extract this Hymo theme. Where do I put you now? You should be in my downloads folder, so you should be right here. So downloads, please. Thank you, computer. And I would like the Hymo theme, the Hymo responsive Bootstrap template. So let's open up this theme. Now, this is what you want in a theme, especially as a web designer. This is what you want when you have a starting theme, especially if you're developing for someone else. Now, Here are the two. Now, here are the two camps of web designers. Either you're developing for someone else, where their time is money, your time is money, and you're trying to give them the best possible result for the best possible price. So, as you can imagine, trying to code something like this from the ground up is going to cost your client a lot of money, money that they can't afford. Because to build something like this yourself for a client, you could easily charge 5 to 10,000 euro. And I'm not joking. That would probably be about 5 to 10,000 euro to build this site from scratch, to build this template from scratch for a client. But let's just take a look at what's involved. So we've got the we've got the plugin up there that's letting you know what section you're on. You've got all the animations that's included. You've got the parallax effect on the background there. You've got all the social media links. You've got a portfolio here that actually opens up on a light box as well, so we can open that up and we can do all that as well. And this is at the bare bones as well. You've seen this before. You've seen it done. It's very, very nicely done. And then we can read more as well. So as a web designer, what you would normally do is you would take a theme and you would take it and you would make it your own. So you'd start cutting out things, and what you can do is after you've done that, you then save it. You start putting your name on it, and then after you've started working on it more, then it's constant optimization. Because to build a website properly does take about 2 weeks. It does take about 2 weeks, 20 hours to build a WordPress site, about 2 weeks to build with Bootstrap, to build the same site with Bootstrap. Simply because you do end up with a better quality site when you do build with Bootstrap. You end up with better quality code underneath it. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So let's just open up our brackets application, brackets. Well, actually, I can open this up in CodePen. So edit with CodePen. Sorry, edit with Notepad, sorry. So here we have it. So let's just take all this code here, Control-C, and let's go to the W3C validator, just to see how well this is written. We'll just run a quick test. So w3c.org. So, w3c.org validator.w3c. Oh, there it was. validator, validator. There we have. So I'll validate by direct input. So let's see how well this site is written. Let's take a look. Warning: this document appears. All right. Well, that's fine. So the only error that this can find, is that there's Latin in the text. All right. Even though the language is dictated as English, that's the only error. And it's not an error. It's a warning. Yeah, so that is something that you'll get with Bootstrap. Now, you won't get that very often with something like WordPress. It's extremely difficult to get a WordPress site to pass a validation test by W3C standards, simply because it is a one-size-fits-all site. So even though it's fantastic and you're able to get amazing developments, because at the end of the day, your client doesn't really know that much about it. Their client just wants pretty images up on the screen. They want their goals to be fulfilled. When you start talking to them about all the underlying code, it goes right over their heads. So just be prepared for that. So you want to make your client happy. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take that theme and we're going to edit it. So let's go down. Let's close down all these windows because we don't need any more of these themes. So we're going to take this one and we're going to use this one. All right. So let's close down that and let's open up brackets. brackets. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to load in my theme. So 2 seconds there, and I will put those over there. And I'll get to my downloads folder. And Hymo, responsive theme template, and Hymo is the theme that I'm looking for. So here we go, we've got Hymo here. So let's take a look at the index file. So there we have it. Alright, so let's put that over there, and let's put that up there like so. Actually, I don't like the live editor of this, so I'm going to open it up normally. Perfect. Alright, so there is what we have. Perfect. Let's put that over there so we can develop from a really small standpoint, seeing as we are already developing mobile first strategies, so we might as well develop like that. All right, perfect. So, does this look like a lot of code to you guys? Yeah? Does this look like a lot of code? Could you imagine having to write all this from scratch? Yeah. All right. But here's the thing, can you pick out the patterns in this code? Are you understanding what is there based on all the knowledge that you've gained with all this HTML that you've been doing? So even if some of these tags are new to you, you should be able to start to figure out, well, what is editable and what is not. Because that is what we're doing here. We're breaking things down to its basis, We're kind of taking an overview. That's the way I like to. That's the way I like to teach. That's the way I like to learn. I like to see the underlying patterns. I like to see the underlying ways that things are done, because then you can apply them to anything. So let's take a look here. So we've got our nav bar. So we've got our nav bar here. We got home, services, portfolio, clients, contact. Well, that must be this one up here. Home, about us, services. Yep, it's all right there. Perfect. All right, so let's take a look. Is that what I'm looking at? Index.html? Well, let me open you up a little bit more. Home. About us, sorry, yes, sorry, it is all there. I've just got my screen a little bit too small. I'm going to have to make the brackets a little bit bigger just so the code can lay out a little bit nicer with the text wrap. So there we have it, alright? So now let's take a look at our development files. Downloads. Himu. So here's our development files. Let's open this up full screen. View. Extra large icons. So another beautiful thing about this is that when you get a theme, a lot of the development folder should be laid out quite nicely. So let's go back in there. Himu. And we have got our images. So we've got the fonts, so that's font awesome there. So that allows us to add all those SVG icons and stuff like that we can make good use of. And let's take a look at our images. So here's all our images. So perfect, that will do. That will do us very nicely. So we'll be dropping in and out there a lot of the times. What I am going to do is I'm going to grab my my folder that I'm going to be working out of. So I've got all my, so I've already done all my research. I've got all my images and I've got all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to grab all that now. So let me just go into my Advanced Web Design course. I'll go into Coral Surf Shack, and I'll go into the project images. So we'll take all the project images there, copy, and I'll paste all those in here, into my images. I'm already in images, so I'll paste those there. Paste. Perfect. And I should also have some product images as well that I'd like to use. So let's go product, let's see, images and portfolio. Products, that's what I want. So I'll also take all of these as well, so copy and paste. Yes, so all those icons that you get. So I'm going to stick my my images in my portfolio because that's what I was looking at, sorry. I was skimming over that earlier. So here's a portfolio, yeah? So you can imagine that this would actually be very nice for a product gallery, yeah? Now, I want you all to take a look at this as well, because when I say that I'd like you to make this site your own, whatever project that you have, you should be able to adapt it to any one of these themes. So if you want to build a oh yeah, so sorry, you should be able to see my screen. Everyone out there is able to see my screen, correct? Yep. Perfect. So guys, what we're going to cover, so we're going to start building on this theme now. So we're going to take all the development files and we're going to start incorporating them into this theme. And you should be watching very carefully, because what I want you to start thinking about is how you can apply this to your own goals. So everyone out there, I've got loads of students out there and you've all got different goals. Some of you want to do your company websites, some of you want to do your portfolio, some of you out there are artists and want to display your work. Well, something like this is going to supercharge you, because take a look at this. We've already got all the beautiful animations, we've already got all this kind of stuff, so you can use this. So the hard work right here, this is what people are charging for. They're charging because no one understands this language, and that is the whole thing. You know, rare skills cost cost people a lot of money. That's just the way the world works. So now that we know this markup language, we can take full advantage of it. So let me open up my plain text file. So my Notepad++, please. Thank you. Notepad++. So website copy. Alright, so I also made this one here. So here's all the website copy. So remember what I said, that we then have to ask our client, or if it's for ourselves, we have to start writing up all the stuff that we want to write. Now, I would always say that you should also write this up in a plain text editor, simply because you want to remove as much styling as possible. Remember that we're handling all the styling in CSS and all the markup in HTML, so there's no point really in having things marked up in H1 tags and having things written elsewhere. I find it's always a much less of a headache if we have everything written up in a plain text file. Now, it might take a little bit to get used to it. Well, I've got my own note-taking syntax that I use, and it's just something I make up And it's something that I can read myself. So remember, these processes can be easier for you to use. Now, I'm going to introduce two new things to you. And part of this has got to do with your search engine optimization, not so much to climb the rankings, but to make your stuff look pretty. Yeah? So we've got our name and we've got a description. So we mightn't have covered descriptions yet. So let's go up to the very top and we'll just start editing this file. So metacarset is UTF-8, the language is English, that's all grand. So let me see. So my viewport is absolutely fine. That's going to mean that it's going to always fit to the screen. It's not going to zoom in, it's not going to zoom out on a smaller device. That's all great. So here we go. The description of the site. So the description of the site is what happens when you type in this. So let me just type in ASDF. I'll scroll down. This here is the description, yeah? This here is the description. Now, do you see these three dots? You want to avoid those as much as possible. You never want those three dots. Now, Google actually took away their weighting for descriptions. There is no weight at all given to your descriptions. Okay, so this is meta content. Google has, I'm not even sure if they still weigh meta content. Google even weighs meta content anymore. You certainly don't need keywords in this modern age. You can still use them. I certainly don't. I think they're a bit of a waste of time because they don't go towards apps. They don't go towards anything at all. They used to be heavily weighted in the old, in the first version of the indexing web pages, but they're certainly not given any weight or any consideration really anymore. But description is very important because because if someone is thinking about clicking on your site, your description will make the difference, and you want to make sure that fits. So your character limit for a description is 155 characters. So I've got a nice little description here. It's just under 155, so it's going to fit nice and easy in the Google description box. Yep. So that means that it's not going to stop here and go ... You want to always have it fit very nice in the description box because, like I said, it doesn't actually affect your SEO. It's to help your users understand what your web page is about before they click it. So there we have that. The author, so I'll put my name on this, Bryan Hurley. Bryan Hurley, web, show. Web design. There we go. So you put your name and put your show web design because people will normally, because that's just to say that you created this or you're editing this. All right, so then we can go down to the template. So already we're flying along. So let's go down to our title. And this is going to be Coral Surf Shack. So Coral. Is that how I spelled Coral? Coral. Yeah, that should be fine. Coral, Surf Shack. So SHACK. So CSS. Perfect. All right. So we've got all that done so far. So now we can see that there's some other things. COR. Thank you very much, guys. AL. CORAL. Corals. So yeah, Coral Surf Shack. I got it because it says, that's of the sea. It's a name that means of the sea, as you can probably imagine. You know, coral reefs and all that kind of stuff. So, Coral Surf Shack. Now, we can see some other things here, so let's take a look at what style sheets have been included. Well, of course, it's Bootstrap. Bootstrap has been included. Pretty Photo has been included, and we can take a look at what that is. Font Awesome, and that's what gives us all those fonts. Animate, and that's what gives us those animations that we saw when we opened up the template. Then we've got our main CSS, all right? So our main CSS is the CSS that's applied to this theme directly, and we can edit that ourselves. So because that's not going to conflict with Bootstrap, that main CSS is just for this project, and we can edit that to our heart's contents. And then we've also got the responsive CSS, and that's going to have all the media queries and everything else in there as well. So we shouldn't need to touch that much either. But now let's take a look at some other things we got here. So we've got fave icons. So fave icons are those things that show up here. So do you see the way it's got a little H up there? So we can switch that out for whatever image we want. Then on an Apple Touch icon, and then we've got 3 Apple Touch icons. So if someone wants to save your web page onto their phone, you know, if you go into something and you save it, well then they'll also have a nice icon to display on the phone as well. So there we have that. Alright, so we'll get around to the fave icons in a bit, because what I normally like to do is I like to get the real bulk of the website done, because my design process is slightly different. What I like to do is I like to get nice rewarding stuff nice and quickly, because I don't mind sitting down for hours and hours on end optimizing a site. You know, I don't mind, you know, it's almost like a game to me where I'm trying to optimize an image, where I'm looking at 2 images and I'm trying to just shave off the kilobytes, trying to get it to load up as fast as possible. So I leave a lot of that stuff to the end. Now, if you are now again, you can go with a process that works best for you. For me, I find it's much more beneficial, just for me personally, to get the huge bulk of the website up, and then I can start optimizing afterwards, because I never want to crop an image and then have to blow it back up again after not having the image. I like to have, you know, all the stuff there and then start hacking away, because as you know, like JPEGs, if I compress a JPEG image and if I don't have it backed up, I can't blow it back up to its original size if I change my mind later. All right, so here we go. So we've got our nav bar, so that's all fine. A nav bar inverse, let's take a look at that now. So a nav bar inverse, that's fine so far. Let's just save this and take a look. So far, the only thing that should have changed was Carl's Surf Shack. So there we have it. So far, nothing has changed yet. So let's first work with our menu bar. So let's get all these things in. So we've got home. Where's my Notepad++ applications? There we have it. Where's my website copy? There we have it. So that, oh, better close these. Yep, perfect. Stick that over there. All right. That will fit nice and nicely. All right, so I've got my home section. The next one down is going to be about us. That's perfect. So far, so good. Next one down, services. I actually might keep services in there, but let's go down to surfing lessons. So we got surfing lessons, so we got services, and then we've got surfing lessons portfolio. So portfolio can be our store, S-T-O-R-E. The next one down will be clients, which I'm going to get rid of because I don't want the clients section in there. I'm sorry. Hopefully you have you guys. If you guys want to have Hemo open beside you, because I now know what this website looks like. I've scrolled through it now, so I already know. So I'll just talk you through it so I can stay in the code for as long as possible. So here's, of course, the big banner image, and it's got some sliding images here. There's only 3, but I've got 4 products that I want to show. So I want to show on this banner, I'm going to want equipment rental, surfing lessons, surfing camps, and our store. So that means I'm going to have to add another panel in here, so I know that straight away. I'm going to have to change all that text. There's too many menu items up here. Let's take a look what I have to work with. So I'll keep the banner image. I'll keep this. I'll get rid of this why about us section because I don't need this, and there's nothing on the website that I'm going to use this for. I don't need these bar icons because I'm not profiling myself. Services, I will keep these here because that would be very nice to show our equipment rental, our surfing lessons, and then our online store. So again, that's a nicer blurb so that the user might, because some users love these big header images, love these big, huge hero images, but a lot of people, if you're like me, the minute I get to the website, the first thing I do is I scroll down really quickly. That's just what I do. I just take a quick overview of the website. So that'll be a nice catcher there to grab all those people like me who do scroll down nice and quickly to get those 3 things displayed right in front of them. Meet the team. I don't have any need for these. I don't have any need for these guys here. They could be nice for our product page, but I think this would be nicer for our product page. I think this would be nicer. I think a whole bunch of wetsuits, a whole bunch of surfboards, a whole bunch of surfing gear, and then we can tailor these already made buttons to filter them down for us. Yeah. So I think that's going to save us a lot of time in our development. Certainly save a lot of money on our clients' behalf. Clients about us, I don't need that other header image down there. Our blog, this would be perfect for detailing the actual lessons. Yeah, so this would be perfect because look, we've got all these nice little icons here. So we've got adult courses, we've got groups, we've got summer camps, we've got children courses, we've got everything there. And of course, we've got these read more buttons already built in and all the lorem ipsum text, so we can add in our own text there as well. So beautiful design. Now down here, what I will hope to do at the end of this lesson, and remember guys that I'm going to be going on for a while tonight, remember that we're making up for previous lessons as well. So what we will do as a little bonus here, if we get around to it, we will try to edit the PHP file to get this slightly working. Alright, so we'll edit the PHP file. It's not going to work without a server, but we'll take a look at the PHP file just to see what you have to do. But once you stick this up live, well then your form would work. And then we're going to add a map in here. So I noticed there's a big map missing here. And then I'm going to give you something else. So this is a nice little thing here. So codepen.io. Go to my profile. So you guys can take this little snippet of code for yourself. It should be in my, I've placed it in here. My public. And I've got this here. This get directions form. Alright, now I use this for my friends. I use this on wedding sites especially. So so you have a location of the wedding, but the big thing is like, how do you get there? Yeah, how do you get there? So this is actually set for where this fictional surfing club is. So this surfing club is actually set in Fanor Beach. I'll show you where that is now. So maps. Oh, sorry, I'll go for images actually. So Fanor Beach, it's a beautiful beach on the west coast of Ireland. So the beach is real. Surfing is it's all right there. There's better surfing down in the Hinch, but there's not many surf schools there, so I decided to go here anyway. Yes, you can add captchas to the contact form. That again is just another plugin that you can add. I'd rather leave the actual. Would you normally code on a live server? Yes, I would normally code on a live server. I normally have something like that set up, but I'm normally adding more. But remember, this is the. But there's no need to add all that stuff for now, just simply because we can work better with brackets and not have to worry about all those absolute paths, because then we'd have to change up our paths a little bit. So I think it'd be best to learn with this way so far, because I can already see a few problems because the document structure, there's already going to be a few problems that I can foresee with trying to find our image paths. So let's try this. So so someone out there, you don't have to give me your home address, but where are you? Brighton. Brighton. So let's see. How do we get to this beach from Brighton? Well, there you go. Well, it will take you 11 hours and 33 minutes to get to my surfing school, and it even provides you with flights. So this is actually perfect. So guys, if you want to take that, once you get your Copen account, do start forking some of my little projects, because these are very little handy things, and that will save you a lot of time and effort later on. Because could you imagine, like setting up wedding sites or anything that requires someone to get to a venue, which is extremely important. Something as simple as this little form here, it doesn't require PHP, doesn't require anything like that. All it actually does, it's just a little bit of clever trickery. I'll just explain to you nice and quickly. So as you can see, you enter your location, so that gets the location. The action is to go to Google Maps, and then where is this button, submit, and where is my, so there it is. So there is the data that's been added. So you can try to work that out for yourself, but it's nice and easy, but you can actually go from anywhere. So let's go from someplace else again. MORECAMBE. So it really should work for wherever you are. So from wherever you are in the world, it should open up in Google Maps for you and allow your clients to get there nice and quickly. Okay, because the whole thing here is trying to reduce the amount of clicks that your clients, not your clients, but your users have to take to get to the end result. Yeah, so that's really the trick. Yeah, we can actually. Yeah, of course we can get from Vancouver. Let's actually see just how far we can go. VANCOUVER. Last one. So there you have it. So you can get to my surfing school for 920. For 920, I'm guessing that's Canadian dollars. It will take you 12 hours and 45 minutes total travel time. Yes, so that's a fantastic little form that you should definitely hold on to, because if you have any clients in the future, or even for your own site, especially if you have a physical location, it's a great addition to put above your Google map, so that your client doesn't have to go messing around elsewhere. All right, so we've got all that. So now we already know what we're going to do. So let me just bring back in to our Google Chrome. There we have it. So Coral Surf Shack. So like I said, so we're going to add an extra thing up there. We're going to take out this here. We'll add our About Us here. We're going to have these three as our services, which will be, I've got it written down here. I've got equipment rental, surfing lessons, and surfing camps. I can take out Meet the Team because this would be a much nicer product gallery. I could take out the client say. We'll keep this in for our courses, and then we'll add those maps and contact information down there. And I'll show you also how to make some dial-out links before time is up as well. All right. So are we ready to start coding? Because we're now going to try and stay in brackets for a little while. Okay. So are we ready? Yes. So we'll get about halfway down. I will take a break in about 10 minutes, because this is going to get a little bit intense with all this code. It might give you a little headache. So we'll take a break in about 10 minutes for you guys. All right. So here we go. So we've got a home. We've got our About Us. We've got our services. Oh, keep that open beside me. So I just put that over on my other screen so I can keep an eye on it. So we got home, we got about us, we've got our services. Yep, we got our team, which I don't need anymore, so I'll take out our team and delete. Keep my code nice and tidy. Let's see, so we got our team. Whoops, I deleted the wrong thing there, didn't I? Where's my navbar? Alright, so about us. Home, about us, services. Our team is what I don't want. There we have that. Delete. Portfolio I want to keep, but that's going to be our store. S-T-O-R-E. Clients I don't need. Blog is going to be our lessons. Is that what we're calling it? We'll call that surfing lessons. S-U-R-F-I-N-G-L-E-S-S-O-N-S. And contact us. And I'll keep that as contact us. Yeah? Perfect. So that's all that. So here's another tip. So what I'm going to do now, so you might be extremely tempted straight away to start editing all these IDs, yes? As you can see, that services match up with service, that's fine, but our store now matches up with portfolio. Now, it might make perfect sense to change that to store right now, but then what that's going to mean is that we're also going to have to go into the... So I'm just going to confirm that my suspicion is correct. Let's go into the main CSS. So let's take a look. Yes, so I can see that they are using all these classes for styling as well. So if I was to change those to match up my letters, I'd also have to change all these. So that's something that I normally do for the optimization stage. Yes, so the optimization stage, I normally work with a theme, and then I go back and I do all the nitpicks because they do actually personally annoy me just to have like, that's our store, that should say store, that should be an idea store and all that kind of stuff, just to make it nice and easy to edit later on. But that's what you do. You do make it nice and easy to edit later on. So there we have that. We've got all surfing lessons. That's perfect. So we've got our navbar all done up. What I'll do is I'll save that. All right, the next one down. So we've got that big homepage carousel. All right, so let's just take a quick look at this. So we've got our section here, and if I select that, I can see where that ends. So that's a big section. Yeah, so let's go up there. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add an extra. So I'm going to need an extra line item. So these are those three little dots that ran along the bottom of our image slider. So let's add another one in here. Now notice it's counting from 0, so 0, 1, 2. And we're going to add another 1, 3. So we got 0, 1, 2, 3. That's perfect. We got a carousel. I'll change out those images now in a second when we go in there. So my heading image. So the first thing I want to display to my users is the surfing equipment. Yeah, the surfing equipment I think is the most important thing. So if I was to do content priority, so because I have a sliding header image, I'm not going to show the three boxes side by side, so the content priority is going to be important here. So the first thing I want to display to my users is the surfing equipment, because that will cover everyone. Because whether you want to come with your family, whether you want surfing lessons or not, well, you're going to need surfing equipment to do it. So chances are every single one of my clients is going to want surfing equipment. Some of the clients are going to want lessons, and a few of the clients are going to want to come with their school tours. But every single one of them is going to want to know if we have some kind of surfing equipment or facilities. So surfing equipment is what I think is going to be the first one. So I'll go EQUIPMENTRENTAL. So equipment rental. And if I bring up my text wrangler, I should have some, so here we go, home about, our expert crew, making surfing easy, surfing together, equipment rentals, so here we are. So there we go, so I'll just take that first paragraph, seeing as it is just a small one, and then we can scroll down later. So there we have it. So, what happened there? So I'll delete. So rentals are available at Carl's Surf Shack. We have a full range of big and hardboards. Yep, and what I'll do is I'll add a little line break there. And then we have full range of big hardboards, that's fine. Button class, fade in, so that's that animation CSS. Surf rentals, equipment rental. Get started, so let's get rid of get started. And let's go to contact us. Get surfing. And that will go down to contact. Now, another benefit of keeping all these simple, of keeping all these in line, and sticking with the theme these people dictated with their ID system is that when we're done. So as you can imagine, I'm going to have to keep adding in all these wrong IDs here. So every time I say portfolio, I'm going to say store. Now what I could do right now is I could find all, and so you can go either way. You can either find all now, and you can make it all consistent. But I'm going to rather do it this way first, because then I can Control A, Control Find, and for every hash portfolio, I can replace that with hash store. For every ID is equal to portfolio, wrapped in inverted commas, I can replace that with ID is equal to store. Yeah, so that's the way we can fix it up afterwards. So you don't have to go through the document doing it one by one. What you do have to do is you go through the document from the top to bottom, just reading it. Yeah, you just read over the code just to try to figure out the pattern, and then you do find, replace. So there we have that. So we've got our equipment rental is going to be our first one, and get surfing is going to bring them down to contact so they can get in contact and find our store. Show you how to do what? Control find, find all. Well, I find the easiest. Oh, find all. Well, what I do it. I actually do it in Text Wrangler. Yeah, because I rather brackets doesn't have a great find or replace, guys. So I noticed that brackets doesn't have a very good find and replace. It doesn't give you a lot of options here. I much prefer to do it in Text Wrangler because you got so many options here. So Control A, Control Find. Yeah, so I can find and I can replace, and this is actually the same as Text Wrangler. Text Wrangler is something just as good. So what you can do you see all these options that we have here in Text Wrangler? So you can either match whole word, you can match the case. So you know if you have capital S for site, well then it has to have a capital S for site. So it gives you all those extra options that'll really allow you to change everything. So like say if I had portfolio elsewhere, it can let me do that. I can also only search for where so I can go like this. And now it's only going to find replace where I've highlighted as well. Yeah? So you've got loads of stuff that you can do here. So let's just go with Control A. So site, S-I-T-E, and replace that with K-K-I-T. Kid, K-I-D-D-D-D. That's perfect. That's not going to appear anywhere. So replace all. Nothing happened because I'm only selecting there. But what happens if I grab the whole document, replace all? 3 occurrences, so I replaced it with 3 occurrences, so you'll see it at the top. So kid is up there, you'll also find it down here someplace else. Yeah, it's down there, it's all in there anyway, so that's the quick way you do it. And let me just move that back, so K-I-D-D-D, and I'll move that back up to S-I-T-E. Oh, actually, I'll Control Z, yeah. So I'll just Control Z back. Now, does anyone out there know why I Control Z back? Well, I keep editing this. Does anyone know why I Control Z back rather than try to replace it again? I undid changes, yes, because when I tried to edit that site there, when I replaced all sites and I wanted to replace it as well, you might think I most likely have mentioned site someplace in the website copy, which means that I would have to replace the headers with capital letters, and I'd have to replace the middle body with lowercase. So it's just things to become aware of. But don't worry, because these things actually come with experience. The first time you have a big project where you're doing find, replace all, and that's really where you'll start to hone down these skills. Remember, a lot of this only comes with practice. These are practical skills. These are languages. You know, the best way to learn a language is to get out and actually do it and actually use it. I'm sure I've got a whole bunch of international students here. I speak I actually don't speak any other language other than English. So I'm sure you guys would be much more apt to learn all these other languages than myself. So equipment rental. The next one down is surfing lessons. S-U-R-F-I-N-G lessons. L-E-S-S-O-N-S. All right. And let's go in here. So let's see. So let's find my surfing lessons. Here's my surfing lessons, Carl Shack. Whether you're an absolute first, no, I think I'll go with. So whether you're an absolute first time student, you expect to have a wonderful, safe, fun time with the surf. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's a nice blurb to have. With this info here, no, there isn't yet. This is the latest edition. This is an add-on to all the stuff that we were adding in the last one. So the last one was just the client brief, the research and what they wanted. This one is now that we've got their brief. Now we have to ask them for all their copy. Now I just took copy from various places around the internet and made it myself, just so that we're not sticking with Lorem Ipsum the whole time. So we have a bit more something to show at the end. So everything is outstanding, even though that's good. Let's just put that in there. So whether you're an absolute first time or absolute first, that's fine. Button animated flash. So our View, more, INFORMATION, some more information, and this one is going to scroll down to our blog. So there we have it. So that's going to scroll down to our blog. The next one down. So the next one down is going to be a surfing camps. Surfing camps. Let's get back here as well. We got equipment rental. We got our store. And where is my surfing camps blurb? It's in here someplace. Surfing camps is in here someplace. Equipment rental, surfing lessons. You will learn how to pop up. Equipment is provided. Ooh, maybe I don't have any write-up yet for surfing lessons. Surfing, yes, there we go. I think I can take this one here. That's perfect, that will do me. So surfing together will be a nice write-up for that one. So place that in there. And then I can again say more information. And this is also going to go down to our blog, because our blog will contain all that information, BLOG, on all the lessons. So there is nothing wrong in web design with giving multiple routes to the same thing, yeah? Because, you know, some sections provide two functionalities. So if I have a map and I have contact, they're normally grouped together. So you provide, so some users are looking for their map, some people are using it for your phone number. There's no problem having two boxes, one saying map, one saying phone number, and bring them down to the same section. That is perfectly acceptable in web design. It's actually just all part of the user experience. All right. So there we have that. All right, so next thing I want this. So you see here, I've got, so this is a great thing about brackets as well. It's a great thing about all these code editors. I can click at the start, and I can see where it ends. So this is one of those header images. So remember, I need an extra one. So I'm going to take this, Control C. I'm just going to paste that below it. So there we have it. I've got another item now. So let's see. So the next one down is going to be our store. Because we're not selling online, so because we're not selling online, S-T-O-R-E, it's not really the most pertinent. It's not, so that's why I'm putting that one last. All right, so that's my method behind this thinking. So I want to have the equipment rental displayed first, because that's something that everybody needs. If you want to go surfing, you're going to need some kind of equipment. You're going to need something at some point, especially if you're holidaying in Ireland. Chances are you haven't experienced our weather before. It's quite crazy. You're going to need shorts, t-shirts, jackets, and jumpers all at the same time. You never know when the snow might be coming. So we got equipment first, then surfing lessons, because that applies to everyone, and then we have surfing camps, because they don't run all the time, and the last one down is our store. Now if the store was online, and we had an e-commerce system built in, well then I'd probably have that first. I'd probably be displaying the products up there first, because that's going to be a nice money getter coming in the door straight away. But seeing as the store is to let people know about the store and let them see what products they have in there so they can come out and visit you, well then I think the store can be last, because chances of people actually coming all the way out there just to visit the store is not very likely. You've got every town here has a surf store. There's no need to drive all the way out to the west coast just to go out and buy a surfboard with the range of shops that we have. So our store, let's go back into our copy again. So our surfing lessons and our store. At our we sell top brands for both deer, lost and tans. We have over the years with strands. Our surf strands located at the bottom of the promenade on the left hand side, directly opposite the lifeguard's hut. That will do us absolutely perfectly. Actually, I'll truncate that down.
I hope you feel better. I had that when I was in Hurley.
Yep, I'll just take that much of it.
2 years ago. Yeah, and it still comes up every
So our store. And this one is going to take us down to our portfolio.
I know it's not much fun. It's really not a lot of fun.
See? Whoop. Our products. P-R-O-D-U-C. C-T-S. So now we've got our products. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take advantage of these image placeholders there. So To be quite honest with you, what you should do, what you really should do. Where am I going here? Downloads. Hi move. Hi move. Images. What you should do is you should rename your photo something meaningful. So I don't like using the slider. Well, you see, when you have so many images to add in, so you know when you have a lot of products, having them listed by their SKU, their unique identifier, that can be very handy when you've got a big long photo gallery. So just like on our photo gallery from the Phoenix photography, you'll notice that they're all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because it makes it easier to edit later on. So let's go into our slider here. So we've got our slider, and we've got 3 slider images. All right, so let's change those up. So services project images is where I'm going. So here's all my group project images. So let me see which was. So here's all the images I have to work with. Here's all the images that the client was able to give me. So the first one I have up is going to be equipment rental. So for equipment rental, I might just take which one of these would be best for equipment rental. But also it's the first image that everyone is going to see as well. So I wonder which one of these might be best. So I just want to give some good thought to this. So you just keep looking at the images until one actually just jumps out at you. So I think the best one to use would actually be the man surfing the wave, because it's got beautiful colors in there. The wetsuits, I would like the wetsuits, but I want to actually get it all together. So what I can do is I can use this guy surfing this wave here. So that's the one that I'm going to. That's the one that I'm going to take there, because I can use the wetsuits and everything later on. Stack boards is good as well. The stack boards are very good as well, but I want to get the whole. So even though that first banner image, even though it's we have equipment rental, I want to remember I'm also trying to convey that this is a surfing thing. That you don't just come here to just see the equipment to do anything. I want to show someone actively surfing, and because they're actively surfing, that means they've got the wetsuit on, they've got the surfboard on their feet, and they're having a good time and some beautiful on some beautiful waves. So I think that could accomplish everything that I want to do the minute that someone visits the site. So let's go into our slider. Actually, sorry, I'll grab all the images I want. So let me just grab. So let me see. I'm going to grab. I said I'm going to grab this surfer on that beautiful wave, which is that one there, because it's nice and easy. It's not going to scare anyone off. Then we have surfing lessons. So let's grab one with an instructor teaching some kids, which they should have provided me with, which will be right. There should be an instructor on the beach. Can I make these even bigger again? View, extra large icons. There we go. So I've already got my. All right. So, surfer, instructing, header. I've got surf camps, and the last one I need is our store. Ah, yes. So our store. So then for our store, I think I will take this. Yeah. I think they will go quite nicely, because I think those surfboards there are a bit used. So yeah, perfect. All right. So what I'll do is I'll copy those, and let's go back in here. So images. I'll go back into my slider. So as you can see, they've already listed out all the sections nice and easy, so it's easy for you to edit the file as well. So I'll paste those in there. So there's my header images. That's perfect. I can delete the ones that are there. I just remember now that there's slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. So let's go. So that's going to be slide 1. SLIDE, slide 1. The next one coming up was going to be the surfing lessons, slide 2. The next one up was going to be the surfing camp, SLIDE, slide 3. And then the next one up is going to be the guy applying wax to a surfboard, so slide 4. Alright, so that's that. And now there's one more thing I have to do. I have to add slide 4 in here. So I've got my slide 4 in here. So places slide 1, slide 1. There we have it. Ooh. So that's going to be slide 1 for equipment rental, slide 2, slide 3, and slide 4. Now, let's see what we're looking with so far. Yeah? So this is where we were. This is where we are. So you can see how quickly we can actually start getting something that looks quite beautiful up on a screen straight away. So we've got our surfing lessons. We can still scroll down to more information. I'm going to see if I can make that smooth scroll. So I know that the other one's smooth scrolls. So do these smooth scroll? So that's smooth scrolls. So I'll take a look at that now to see how I can make that work. So now let's just take a quick look up at my header up here. So I've got my home pattern, main icon. That's home. Let's just take a look up here. Nav bar right. Scroll. So there's a class of scroll being attached to these. So guys, so that's something you can look at. So remember, we know HTML, so we can just take a look. So we know that classes are used to like target things, to apply these crazy effects and all that kind of stuff. So if I notice that, so you might notice on up here, you know, we've got this lazy scroll. Yeah, so we've got that nice scrolling effect, but you'll notice when I click these icons, it's jumping down. So it's not something that's being applied to everything globally, but I know that it is being applied up here. So let's see if we can apply it to these. Well, if I take a look at my code, I can see that these things have a very nice class attached to it called scroll on my nav bar. So that must be what it's targeting. So let's try that out. So if I go back down to my down to my buttons, so I got my buttons here, contacts. So what I'll do is I'll just add an extra class here of scroll, S-C-R-O-L-L. And what I can do is I can just save that first one just to see how that works. So save, refresh. Now let's take a look. Oh, still not there yet, so that's not what it's doing. Inspect, just make sure that I'm clearing the cache. Refresh. No, so that's not what it's targeting. Let's just take another quick look. So brackets. We've got fade in, scroll, and what does it say up here? It just says class scroll, fade about us, class scroll active, nav, home is there. We'll have to take a look at that afterwards, but there should be an easy way. I don't see why it wouldn't. List item. Alright, so we'd have to do some more work for that as well. Alright, so guys, if you would like to add some lazy scroll, I did add the scroll properly. What we would have to do, let's just actually confirm this. If I do have to do this, I won't add it to all of them, just because I want to move on with getting the more important stuff. So class SCROLL, and let's do that like that. Let's take that, place that down there. Let's see if that will work now. Is that the pattern that we're looking at? So refresh. Still not working for me. I'll have to research that. I'll have to research why that scroll isn't working. I'm sure it might be in the documentation. Anyway, the scroll option is not too important to us right now. So let's not get fixated on that. I know that if you guys weren't there, I'd be sitting here for the next 5 hours debugging this thing. But let's just let's do it practically. Let's do it practically as if we're actually working for a client. So we've got that. So now we've got all that loaded up. We've got all that stuff loaded up. So now we've got our 3 big beautiful banner images. We've added in an extra header image, and we've got that extra. And just to confirm that we do have that extra button there as well. So do we have that 4th button? There's our 4th button, and it brings us to the 4th one. So perfect. So we got our store, we've got our lessons, we've got that. And we've got that, and we've got all these beautiful animations as well. So next one down, why with us? So let's change that to about us. So back into brackets. So let's go down to the next section. So we've got our carousel, that's all fine. Main carousel, yep, that's all fine. They're just the they're just the angle left and angle right. So they're those arrow keys on either side of the slider image. So about us, so we got a container again, so it can be so it's still using Bootstrap. Column small 8. I think those column offsets are fine for me. Let's see, why with us? No. Who we are, what we do. Dot dot dot. That will do. And let's go in. So about us. So about. So about us. The curl surf stack. That's perfect. Our expert surf dudes. That's absolutely perfect. That's exactly what I want to say. I'll paste all that in there. I'll add my extra P there. There we go. I'll beautify this up a little bit. Beauty. There we go. So there we have it. So there's my P. Coral Surf Shack. That's one paragraph, and that's another paragraph kept separate. That's perfect. All right. So there we have that. So who we are, what we do, about us. So next one down. This is also an about us class. So why with us? So yes, this is the one that I don't want. Yep, those were those little boxes I don't need. Let's get down to the end where this ends. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of code there for that skill bar as well. So let's go down, and now I can just delete all that. So that will get rid of that for me. Tidy that up. All right. So the next one down is going to be services. So the next one down is going to be services. So here we're going to have some fun. So services. So services. I can actually leave services as services. So. That's it. That is exactly the line that I want. Making surfing easy, that's a very nice write-up just under surfaces. That's going to tidy it all up. So we have Ireland's biggest range of surf school surfboards. 10 foot, so tells them everything that we have. So we got loads of stuff, and that's it. That's just to get fun, because people are going to be more concerned with our actual services. So let's line these up. So the first service that I want to show to the user is going to be the equipment rental. Alright. The next service is going to be the surfing lessons. And the last service I'm going to show is our store. So our equipment rental, I can take all of this. I'm missing an R in surfing. No worries. I'll go back and correct that. Where did I SURF? Thank you very much for that. So there we have that. So I'll paste that code in there. So big. Yep, that's fine. All rentals have to remain on Fun Row Beach. All right, that's perfect. And I think that's a good place for a paragraph, because then we add in the conditions. So to rent, you must be a good swimmer. So yep, perfect. So that's a nice condition. So we'll keep that like that and save. And then we'll go down to the next one, so surfing lessons as well. So that's equipment rental, surfing lessons. So let's go back into our surfing lessons here. And I'll just take this blurb here, Control C, and go down to our surfing lessons. So I can place this text in here like so. Surfing lessons, 1, 2, 3 easy steps. I think that can be a P as well. There we have that. So that's our services. And the next one down is our store. So where's our store? So our shop. And it's right there again. Give them all that information in case they skipped it above. Perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Now let's take a look. Let's take a look at how far we've gotten now. So now we should be flying along this. So let's go up. Let's see. So we've got our equipment. We're going to take out all that, and that should all change. So let's go ahead and refresh. So perfect. So now we've got some more stuff happening. So equipment rental, who we are, what we do. Perfect. Our services. Let's change that parallax image behind there. Not much good to have some people riding rickshaw in India, I'm guessing. That must be rickshaw riders in India. It's not really hasn't got much to do with the west coast of Ireland. So, and we can also change these fa icons as well. So the first thing I'll do is I'll change the background, and then we'll go into Font Awesome and find some better icons for these guys here. So let us. First thing I want to change is the background. Image. Well, I can change that from my development folder. So it's not that development folder. Is it this development folder? Downloads. That's the one. So let's go in here into my images, and I've got my project images here. So a nice background image for this one here might be something that I can read on as well, nice and easily. I'm going to need one of these images that would be nice and easy to read. I think the really colourful one with the car could go nicely here, because it's got a nice, those are nice. So you see how vibrant that image is there? So you see the way that's got a very nice solid colour in the back, so there's not much going on in terms of, so it's got plenty of colour, it's bursting with colour. But say this sky here, there's too much, there's too, the clouds and everything. With water, you've got all the other effects there. So a nice sky image might do us very nicely there. It's these kind of flat palette colors. So we'll take that and we'll go back into our. So we've got services. The one that we're in at the moment is our services. Actually, is our services. So services, service background. So let's paste that in there. We'll delete our old service background and we'll add our new service background. Oh, how was the syntax? Service BG. SERVICE BG. Perfect. So we've got that. Now let's take a look. Ah, yes. So that's working quite nicely, and if you hover over it, you'll be easier to see again. These oranges are playing very nicely with the sun, making which actually I think it could be good, considering Ireland is actually quite cold. And I might actually just truncate some of these icons, truncate some of this text as well. So equipment rental, that's all fine like that. Yep, that's all fine like that, and that's all fine like that. Actually, I like the way it kind of scales up like that. I kind of like the steps there, so that'll be fine. A bit sunny for Ireland. It is a bit sunny for Ireland. These are stock. Well, actually, you'd be actually very surprised at the weather we get here. Um, Ireland is known as a very rainy country. Let me go to font ISO. Ireland is known as a very rainy country, but really what we just don't have is a range. That's really what happens here. We don't have that like massive storms, giant heat waves that like destroy the country. We just get really nice weather and then really bad weather. So font awesome. Exactly right, Wayne. The sun is the same for everyone. It's just the clouds that keep changing. Exactly right. So here we have. So we have font awesome. So let's try and find some of these icons here. So where are the icons that I want? I want to see the icons, please. Icons. So here we go. So there's loads of icons for me to choose from. So for equipment, I guess I'll take the sun. Again, I'm trying to push the sun because you know just to imagine, because it just helps. It just helps when you have any kind of coastal thing. You don't want to be reminding them constantly of the bad weather, especially here in Ireland. You always just want to give them the idea that it could be sunny, because as any Irish person knows, that it could always be sunny. You know, you always go out with a jacket. Doesn't matter how nice the weather is, you should always have a jacket with you because you never know what's going to happen. And it works the other way around. So no matter how wet and windy it is, and you're going out to the beach, you've always got that thing in the back of your head saying that, you know, it could actually be sunny. And chances are it actually is sunny, just for a few minutes at least. So there we go. So we got our fa icon. So what I've done, oh, sorry, I'll be talking over that. So what I did there is that I can see here that this is fa sun o. So that is the class, yeah? So you can see here it's got an I. So it's taken I and then it's just italic. Class, class fa sun o is the one that it's taking, is the class that it's going to be using, and that's going to apply this graphic. So let's grab this. Fa sun. So equipment rental is going to be fa sun. So let's put that in there. Whoops, I don't need all that code. I'll just go fa sun. Control Z Z Z. I'll just type it in manually. SUN-O. That will do. The next one down is going to be, well, because that, I can actually use users up here because that will actually work. USERS, and then surfing lessons, and then our store. I don't want a price tag now. I don't want a price tag on my store, but I will want some kind of thing to let them know that they can purchase stuff. So I think a tag would be perfect. Perfect. A tag would be absolutely perfect. This, so fa tag, nice and easy. So then fa tag. There we have that. Oh, sorry. Tag. There we have that. So that's going pretty well. And just while I'm here, I'll just take out our team, because I don't need that anymore. So as you can see, the team is quite heavy. Take all of that out. And save. Or till. Was there a till? Let me see. A till might actually be a little bit better. Oh, sorry, no, till. Find. The shopping bag can work as well. The shopping bag could work as well. Myself personally, I do like the tag. I hate seeing you know, currency signs when people are trying to sell something. I hate seeing currency signs. I like, you know, subtle hints, like the tag. You know, it's not saying like you have to buy. It's not. It's letting the person know that, you know, this is what it's doing. It's not trying to push anything on the user. It's trying to guide the user. Because remember, your user has their own goals here, and it's very difficult to convince the user. The user can go wherever they want, and it's very difficult to actually get them to go where you want them to go. So I think the best route is always to allow them to go wherever they want to go, and then create marketing funnels and stuff like that. Like, if you don't want users to be on your site just playing games the whole time, then don't put a game on your site. That kind of stuff, you know. So let's just see how we look now with our tags and everything like that. Well, I might need to save. Oh, it's working. So there we have it. So equipment rental, that will be fine. Surfing lessons and our store. Perfect. Alright, so I know that we're going to have to add in some buttons there as well to link to the relevant section, so we can come back to that as well. So we've got all that. That's all fine. So now we've got our portfolio section. So we're flying along now. So now we've got our home. We've got our about us section. We've got our services. We've got our store. So now let's start adding stuff into this store. Alright, so to see how this store works, so let's go back into our brackets application again. And we'll quickly mark up the store because we will run out of time otherwise. So we'll quickly mark up the store and just get a few products working there anyway. And then we'll go down to and then we'll skip down to the contact section, simply because the pricing structure, the lesson structure will be pretty straightforward. But then we'll go back into embedding that map and getting those dial out links and everything like that to work as well. So our store, R-S-T-O-R-E. Our store. I'll go back into my copy again, so I've got all this information here. And you know what? I can just take that information again. Perfect. Built up strong. Alright, that's perfect. At this time, I'm going to create another paragraph. This time, I'm going to make this strong. So I'm going to make this strong, and I'm going to put that in as italic. Yeah? So perfect. Semantics. yeah. Semantics, yeah. So I'm marking that up in strong because I do believe that is important information. It's important information to the user. It's also important information to Google. You know, if Google starts, I'm sure that they would be able to derive from that if they so wished where the store's location was. But I think that's just something that should be important. So strong and italic. Now, I don't want to wrap that in emphasis, because emphasis is really more of a speech. Yeah, so emphasis is more of a speech thing. So that right there, the way I said speech there, you would have wrapped that in emphasis tags, because if you were to read it out loud, then it would be emphasis. Yeah. So there we have that, so save. And let's open up our Google Chrome, take a look. So there we have that. Portfolio is going to become our store. So at our shop, yep, that's all fine. And our surf shop is located, that's perfect. And that's going to give us some information there as well. So now let's start putting our products in here. So the first thing I'll do is I will see what products I have to work with. So Haimu, images. Now I've got my product images. I might have already put them in the portfolio. I did as well, very good. So let me see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I got 12 products to work with, so I'll delete those for now. So I've got 1, 2, so let's see, 1, 2, 3. So I've got 3 HUDs, so 1, 2, 3. We'll go up with 1, 2, 3. And we'll go up with 1, 2, 3. So that's 3, 6, 9, and I've got 3 more options. So just to work with now, so I've got 3 more options, and what I'll take, the last one is the surfing, is the accessories. So 1, 2, 3. That'll give me a nice range to work with. So I'll just take these. What I'll actually do is I'll delete them there for now, just so I know that I'm not missing them. Portfolio, and I'll paste these in. Yes, cancel all those. Sorry, forgot Windows doesn't allow me to do that. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take you, I'm going to take you, and I'm going to take you. I'm going to take you, you, and you, and I'll take you, you, and you. So, Control C. Wait, I can just click and drop them into my portfolio up there like so. Yes, I can. Perfect. So, let's start with these. So I'll let my surfboards be first. So that'll be 1. That's a PNG, but that'll be fine. So that's 1. Where's my other surfboard? That can be 2. That can be 3. Now, of course, guys, if you were doing this for a client, of course, this would actually be taking much longer because you want to be putting in all the details about each product and everything like that. But chances are, if you ever have a client who wants to detail their product, what you ask them for is an Excel sheet. Yeah, you ask them for their product list. You ask them for, they have to have some sort of inventory list where they have it all laid out. Otherwise, they wouldn't know how much money they're making, how much stock to take in. So so if they say, they haven't got that information to hand, well then there's no way for you to add their products to their site. It's that simple. Either they're going to have to pay you a lot more money to do all that work yourself. It's like you're going to have to create the product inventory for them. No, thank you. So just be aware of that when you are doing something like this, you will be asking for something like a product inventory, which will have all the information there. So 4, 5, and 6 is going to be my hoodies. 4, 5, and 6. Then my wetsuits. 7, 8, and 9. And then I will have my other ones as 10, 11, and 12. So 10, 11, 12. Alright, so let's see what our product... Well, I can see here, so I got JPEG, 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 JPEG. JPEGs all around, except for number 8 is a PNG. Ooh, sneaky. Can I convert you right from here? Convert... Ah, fantastic. What is this? No. No. I'll just keep it as PNG. Alright, so that'll be fine. Oh. Sorry, was 10 not? Oh, and 10 as well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Eagle eyes. Very good, guys. So 10, so 8 and 10 is going to have to be converted to a PNG. So let's go down to our portfolio. Ah, yes, so this is our portfolio here. Portfolio, and where does our portfolio start? Portfolio starts up here in the section portfolio. So that's our all. So let me just put this side by side for a second. And where's my... There we have that. So I just use my mouse. It's not going to play very nicely. Alright, I'll just keep this open in my secondary window over here, just so I can see it a little bit better. So here's my portfolio. Portfolio item, there we have them. So my first one is going to be all, that's fine. My next group of items are going to be... So my first group of items are going to be surfboards, surfboards, surfboards. The next one down is going to be, so I've got 1, 2, 3, and then I got hoods. And then I've got wetsuits. Suits, and the last one is going to be accessories, accessories. Is that correct? accessories. I'd say that there is a I'd say that there is definitely some kind of spell check that you can have in brackets. Does brackets actually have a spell check involved? Alright, so it's not there by default. I know the Text Wrangler gives me a very nice, like I said, I am a Mac developer, so I know the Text Wrangler is always correcting my spelling for me. Notepad++, I'm not sure if Notepad++, I'm pretty sure Notepad++ does not correct my spelling based on the feedback from the chat box. But no, I can see clearly that that brackets is not. But there is an add-on, I've been told, through the chat box, so I'm sure you'll be able to find that there. So now we've got accessory, we got all that, portfolio items. Alright, so let's start giving these names. So then we got our first one is surfboard, S-U-R-F, surfboard. And how much... Alright guys, so let's just add in dummy prices here for the surfboard. So how much do you think the surfboard is? And guys, I'll tell you right now, because I know that some of my students have to leave, because, you know, this is going to go on for a while. So as I know some of my students have to leave, right after this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack all this development file, and so you can have it straight away. It's going to go up into the Facebook group, into the advanced Facebook group. Not into Bryan's design resources, but it will go up into the advanced web design group as a file, so you'll be able to download it straight away after the lesson. Don't have to worry about times and everything like that. You'll be able to take this directly as it is, and then apply it to your own, apply it to whatever business or anything else. Alright. If you can't get on there, send me an email, and I'll send it to you directly as well. If you want to send me an email to send an email to web.design@showacademy.com. I'll be able to catch it. I'll keep that account open. Normally we have that filled because, you know, everybody is contacting that for, you know, oh, I can't access this or I can't access that, even when it has nothing to do with my course. So it is filtered, but I will open up that account right after this lesson. And if you can't get onto Facebook, do grab it, and I'll email it to you. All right. So we got surfboards. So guys, give me a price there. We got £300. £300. What I will do is I'll do €300 though, because we are in Ireland here, so €300. €300 for that first surfboard. That's fine. Fa link. We'll take out the link because we don't need the link. Take out the link, and we'll leave that open up in a pretty photo, but I'm going to cut that to 1.jpg. Now, here's something. So I'm actually just going to leave it like that for now, and then we'll Oh, guys, because we have, is anyone else experiencing a lag out there? I hope there isn't too much of a lag between what I'm saying and what's on the screen. No? A bit? Is it a serious lag? Because I know the webinar has been gone on for an hour and 20 minutes now, so there's a lot of data building up there in your browser, taking in all this information. And we'll hope you'll be able to follow along. Listen, we're just going to get through these product pages. We're just going to get through these, just update these products, and then we'll be down to add the maps and those links, and then we should be grand, and then we should be grand from there. So that's just anyway. So we got our surfboard. We've got, if it does get really bad, all right, I'm going to type 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. No? All right, so a lot of people out there, so it's perfect for a lot of people out there. Well, sorry, the response I'm getting in the chat box is that it is coming out quite clear. So if it isn't, just make sure you close down your browsers. Just come out and come back in. You won't miss much in the next 2 minutes that I will take to do that. If there is too much of a lag there, just log out and log back in. You won't miss much. We're just going to go through these items, just filling in these words here. So the next one down is also going to be a surfboard. SURFBOARD. Does someone want to give me another price there for this surfboard? How much will we make this one? Just any number there. 420. Perfect. Where's my alt? This will be 420. It's going to be 420. And let's see, that's fine. Take out that link because we don't need it. There we have that. Images portfolio item, that's going to be 2.jpg. Perfect. File class plus, that's fine. Next one down, so let's start adding these a little bit faster. The next one down is also a surfboard. Let's make use of this copy and paste. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. And I'll make up a price here. Let's go with the previous one, which was 700. 700. And then we'll take out that link again. So again, if this was a larger project, what I would normally do is I copy all this code in there. And sure, I'll show you that now. So let's do some find and replace just so we can speed this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this from up here, the portfolio filter. And let's get down to the end of the portfolio filter, which is down here. So what I would do is I copy all this. I would go into my text wrangler application, I create a new one, I paste that code in there, I take a quick look at it. So let's take a look. So the ones that I want to get rid of are actually all these links. So I've got my href, that's fine, but I've got some links in here as well. So divs, anchor links. Yeah, so it's these ones here that I want to get rid of. So I'll get rid of all of those. So Control C, Control A, Control Find, Replace, Control V, delete everything from there. And replace all. 9 occurrences replaced. That's it. So that's the way I like to do it. And then paste. So there we have it. All sorted. All sorted. Alright, guys. So there we have that. Perfect. So lorem ipsum. Alright, so now we've got rid of all those links nice and quickly. So now we can just continue on. So now we've got surfboards 420, and surfboards 700. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. This one is going to have to be 3. And the next one down is going to be a hood. HOD. This was going to be about, let's make this €30. €30. And you can see it's actually added some nice line breaks here to split up my code a little bit easier. So actually, I can actually add this a little bit faster with that. So hood. The next one down is going to be €50 for the next hood. And the last hood is going to be a whopping €120 because it's going to keep here, because it's got like a crazy coffee machine maker or something inside. It'll keep the tea warm. Keep the tea warm while you're outside, and keep the tea warm in your mouth. So let's go. So boom, 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 and boom, and 120. So very expensive hood. And there we have that. All right, the next one down we had, so after hoods we had wetsuits. So hood, wetsuit. 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 This wetsuit. Now wetsuits are normally, whoops, today I hit the wrong key. Wetsuits. What's the price of a wetsuit? I haven't actually worn a wetsuit in years. 160. Wetsuit. Wetsuit. Let's see, so we've got 160, then let's go up to 180. And the last one's going to be 240. And I know I'm skipping over some things, but I think I'll just keep going like this while I'm in a groove. So wet, a suit, and this one is going to be 240. 240. There we have that. The next one down is good. So after our wetsuits, we have got some, just confirm, out of 10. So now we got accessories, accessories. Accessories, accessories, perfect. So the first accessory that we had was that comb and wax. So let's say that's €40. And then the next accessory we had was a collection of just the wax. So let's make that €30. So surf wax. €30. And then the next one down was actually just some more surf wax, so we'll make that also €30. Alright. Now, remember, because speed is everything, so here's something that you have to do manually in Bootstrap. So you'll notice that each one of these has got 2 links, yeah? So you'll notice that each one of these items have actually got 2 links. So what you would do is you take all your product photographs. So because these product photographs here are going to display at 600 by 600 pixels, that's what they're all set at. When someone clicks on them to open them up large, well, then they're going to want to be bigger, yeah? So what you do is that you don't want to load up, so when someone comes to your home page, and especially if it's a one-page slider, you want to really optimize what's there, because they're not going to click on every single product to see what's inside it. So you shouldn't serve up every single product image to them in its full-scale format. Now, we're not going to do that in this lesson, simply because it will just, it's something that you can just do very easily. But I'll show you what the difference is, because I'm going to leave some of these the way they are. So we got our images there, we've got that there. So you'll see what happens here. And I do need to change 8 and 10 as well. Thank you very much for reminding me. So let's go down to 6, 7, 8 to PNG, and 10 to PNG as well. There we have it. So what I'll do is I'll save that for now, and you'll be able to see the difference that this makes when we go in here. That's not my OneNote. There we have that. So let's take a look at what our product portfolio is like now. So if I refresh this, there we have it. So now we've got some surfing products in here. So that's how quickly you can get your own products up on the World Wide Web as well. So anyone out there with a personal business, if you have got your own crafts or your own handmade stuff or anything you want, grab a theme. It takes really just a few minutes just to start putting your stuff on the web, especially if you do it in that kind of way there. Look, surfboard, beautiful. We click on it and the surfboard opens up. So yes, a beautiful product placement there. Now this one should also open up a surfboard, but let's take a look. So do you see the way I'm already loading up there 600 by 600, so that's fine. That's a background image, so that's the image that's holding underneath it. That's just a template. So you know what? Let's just tidy these all up while we're here. So let's just go down. So what am I looking for here? I am looking for. Let's go back up to the top of my items. So surfboard is 300, portfolio item 3. If I keep my mouse here, I should be able to see these errors cropping up. So that's 3. That's going to be 4. 4. So as long as you keep your code neat and tidy, you can really use your mouse to really help you edit nice and quickly. You just keep your mouse in one direction and you can start to see where they should all line up. So you can scroll down nice and quickly and start editing things. 7, 8. And the next one down is going to be 9. Yep. JPG. And the next one down is 10. But that's going to be a PNG, I think. The next one down is going to be 11. 12. Perfect. Yep. There we have it. So now we've got some beautiful product portfolios opening up. You're able to see it up, you're able to see the price, you're able to open it up and it blows up nice and big, so you're able to see a better view of the product. And it's really nice transition effects as well. Yeah, so that's all nice and ready, all ready for us to use. That's perfect. So now we've got our surf shop, and let's just see how our so surfboards are not going to work, hoods are not going to work, and accessories are not going to work. So we'll have to line those up as well. So let's just take a quick look. Same images presented twice in two different ways. Yeah, so normally what you would have is that, so say if I had those product images, what I did was I grabbed images from around the web at 600 by 600. Yeah, so I ran a specific search. I wanted images. I Googled surfboards and I set the restraints that they had to be 600 pixels wide by 600 pixels high. Now, what would happen is that if I was developing a product page, so just like so with WordPress it does it automatically, but if you're displaying a whole list of your products or a whole list of your portfolio items, say if you have 10 portfolio items, yeah, well you want to be able to load up, especially, alright, here's a perfect example. If you are a photographer, yeah, if you're a photographer, it's going to be completely unacceptable for someone to view your images online and not have them at eye-popping quality. But here's the thing, if you've got 50 photographs in your portfolio, like 50 great photographs in your portfolio, well then you don't want the user getting to your site, they don't want to have to download 50 photographs just to see your homepage, just to see some information. So what you do is you create thumbnails. So remember what I said in the introduction course, that the image should always display at the size that they're viewed. So let's just take a quick look underneath here. How big are these images showing up? Text map center. So that image there, that mask there, so that's 285 by 285 pixels, yeah? So what I should do is I should actually do this. And I'll actually, you know what? I should do it right now. So resize, bulk resize, bulk resize. For any of you guys out there who are programmers or like entering the command line, I recommend taking a look at Image Magic. Yeah, there's a great add-on out there called Image Magic. I use it for larger development products, but it's quite complicated to use. You have to do it all from. Do you guys know this? You have to do it all from here. Yeah, so you have to do it all from this place here, all from command line. So that's where you have to operate Image Magic if any of you are so inclined. But you know, batch image resize online absolutely does it perfectly. Now the problem with these online stuff is that if you have images of different sizes, it won't get them all right. You know, if you want to have, you know, images that are all different widths and different heights, and you want to make them all the same size, make them all like constrain their width, constrain their height, and then put a background image on it, you know, put a background canvas so that they're all the image files are exactly the same dimensions, well then you're going to need something like Image Magic to do it, and that takes a little bit longer to learn. But for something like this, once you've cropped them all down to the same size, well then there's nothing wrong. It's very easy to start to get them all small again. So let's try this here. So we got this here, Coral Surf Shack. Sorry, where was I? Coral Surf Shack. How big did I say these are? Inspect. These are 285 pixels by 285. I've got a very large screen here, so I can say that that's about right. So let's go 300 pixels and submit batch job. Thank you. Thank you. You can do it manually in GIMP or Photoshop. Actually, I'm pretty sure Photoshop will actually have batch image resizing. I remember the last time I looked, I couldn't find it in GIMP. That's actually when I first came across this amazing thing called Magic. Magick. That's the one. Magick. Yeah, so as you can see, so this one here, it's got absolutely everything, but the whole thing is that they might actually have a nice GUI at this stage, but yeah, they've got loads of different downloads. Like you can see straight away that it's not the easiest thing to use. But you can do so much with it. You know, like this is the whole thing. Like you're working from command line, so you have literally got the base access to the computer. So once I've done that, once I've truncated all those files, I'll just save them to my computer. And what I'll do then is I'll throw those in here. Extract all. So that's what you would do. Now I'm not going to start adding in all the links as well. I won't add in all the links as well, but that's what you would do, and you'd have something like that. So you'd have a resized folder with all the small images, and they're the ones that you place in the actual. Ooh, actually, thinking about find and replace. Resized. You know what? Resized. There we have it. So that will actually do me quite nicely. I can probably think of a find and replace thing here that will actually work quite well for this. So if all my items are in images portfolio 11, and that's the ahref, and that's pretty photo, well then image source, perfect. So now you're going to see some magic stuff with some find and replace. So let's go up here to our top, and we'll grab from our portfolio filter. So that will do me, and I'll go down here, and I'll take all that code there, and I'll copy that, and I'll go back into my Notepad++, just because I much prefer working from Notepad++ when I'm doing editing stuff like this. And then the one that I want to find is I want to find source is equal to images / portfolio / 12. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, Control C, I'm going to take all of this, I'm going to do Control F, I'm going to do replace, I'm going to do Control V, I'm going to do Control V again. This time I'm going to go RESIZED was the subfolder, and don't forget your last /. So resized. Let me just confirm that before I start messing around with the code. If I go back into HIMU, this is still my development folder, correct? HIMU, project photographs, pretty photo portfolio is the one I'm working from. Resized, RESIZED, just confirm that withside that. RESIZED, that's perfect. Replace all. 12 occurrences, that's 12 photos, that's 12 products, that's everything. Now we've got it. So now we've got it optimized. So now our images will also be optimized as well. So let's paste that in. There we have it. So now you can see they're all resized. So now what that will mean is those little image placeholders. Yeah, so that's what's happening with those galleries. Those little image placeholders are going to be 300 by 300 pixels. So I'm only going to load up an image half the size because it doesn't need to show up at 600 by 600 pixels because they're not viewing it at that. But then if they want to view it at that, like they're clicking on the button so they'll make it bigger, well then they're going to be given this image here. Oh, yeah. At 600 by 600 pixels. So all of a sudden, so I've now just halved the load time. I've just halved the load time for my image gallery just by doing that. Yeah. So that's what just happened there. So it's all about the image optimization. You can see all these little tricks that you pick up over time with them. With find and replace and all these tools to make it a little bit easier. Now I have to change this back to I have to change this back to JPEGs very quickly. I'll change this back to JPEGs and then we'll be flying. Just so we don't have any broken image links, because broken links, guys, I'll keep hammering that home. Broken links are very bad for your SEO. Yep, exactly right. So broken links are very bad for your SEO. So it's these ones here that I want to change. So it's 11.jpg has become it's 10.jpg. So my links here has become JPG, and my number 8 as well has become JPG. Is that correct? Yeah, JPG. So I've converted the format. So when I batch resize them, I also converted the format. So let's just confirm. Perfect. There we have it. And I'm sure that we can sort that out as well. So let's just take a quick look. So where's my product filter? So let's take a look at how their filtering system works as well. And then the last thing we'll do is for the last 5 to 10 minutes, we'll just add in those map links and those other links, and then we can call that a day there. And I'll place this all up on Facebook for you to start working on straight away. For you to take whatever, or send me an email there if you want to send an email directly to web.design, and I'll email the development. No, actually, sorry, I'll send you a Google Drive link because this is a very heavy folder. So yeah, so surfboard. So let me just see .html. So the data filter here is .html. So let's find where that data filter is working in here. So portfolio, HTML, Joomla. Yes. So let's turn that to surfboards. SURFBOARDS. BOARDS. Hoods is going to be hoods. HODS. Wetsuits is going to be wet. SUITS. Magento is going to be ACCESSORI. ACC. All right, ACC, because I'm going to misspell that at some point. So ACC. So let's see. So our first 3 items were surfboards. So let's see. HTML is going to be a SURFBOARD. The next one down is also going to be a surfboard. SURFBOARD. The next one down is also going to be a surfboard. SURFBOARD. Now you'll notice that they have actually staggered all this up. So when you click on the filter, they get that cool effect of everything moving around. Oh, did I say surfboards? Sorry. Yes, you are absolutely correct. That's not going to work unless I have those S's in there. So the reason why they have these all staggered the way they do is actually just simply so that it will look cool when you sorry, what was the next one down? HUDs, yeah. It would just look cool when you click on the filter thing. You know, the images will staggeredly disappear. But for us, I think we'll be grand like this. So HUD. What you could do is you can actually just grab that and like place it up in the other place. Like there's loads of ways, loads and loads of different ways. So we got HUD. Did I say HUDs as well? Yeah. All right. Sorry. I've used plural for them all. So HUDs. The next one down was wetsuits. Wet, S-U-I-T-S. Wetsuits. W-T-S-U-I-T-S. Wetsuits. W-T-S-U-I-T-S. And the last one down was ACC. 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 And ACC. Save. Let's see how that's looking. Surfboards. HUDs. Wetsuits. Accessories. All. Excellent. All right. So let's just take out that client section because I don't need another parallax section there. So I can just select that at the start. It will tell me, it will give me an indication to where it ends. So right there at the client section, delete, please. Thank you. I'll keep the blog. So I'll leave the blog the way it is now. Yeah, so I'll leave the blog the way it is now. I will just call it our lessons. Surfing, S-U-R-F-I-N-G, L-E-S-S-O-N-S. So guys, you should. I'll leave the surfing lessons there for now because we won't have time to fill in all this with just the primary text and all the different lessons and their prizes. But look, you can see that it's very straightforward. So so we've got our div container, we've got a div. So surfing lessons right there, title 1. So let's take a look here. So here's where our row starts. Yeah, so that's just the title. So what you can do is you can load that up there. I'll refresh just so you can see the current phase. So there's our surfing lessons, and then underneath it, it's got that little lorem ipsum blob. And then all of here, you've got these panels. Yeah, so you've got an image, you've got a title, you've got all the metadata, and you've got this read more button. And when you click the read more, you get more text. So let's just quickly just analyze how that works. So I can see straight away that I've got the image. Yeah, so I've got a single blog. So if I even just click that, I can see that that is one single blog. Yeah, that is one single one. All right, but if I look down, and that's where the read more button is. So then I can see here, div class model fade, blog details. So that must be more information there. Yes, that's the next information that gives me all the bigger information there. So that's my bigger block there. And actually I can see the whole thing if I click here because each one of them is small. It's taking up 4 columns. So let's just count that up. So 4, 8, 12. Yeah, so 4, 8, 12. Well then that must be, so that's perfect. So let's see, does that end down there? So perfect. So each one of those is one block. Yeah, so then you could fill all that up. So that's all the text that shows up when you click the read more button. That's your image there again. Where's their images? That's the image there again, and that's the ones that are showed up to the user down there. Now remember, still they're loading up 2 different images, so you might want to have one smaller image to really get down your load time, and one big image later on. But anyway, let's skip down to the contact section, and let's start adding some information in here. So let's just save that nice and quickly. Let's just see how we're getting on here now. So we've got surfing lessons. We've got contact us next. So contact us. Contact with us? No, contact us, please. So contact us. We would love to hear from you. You. Perfect. Alright, so there it is. We would love to hear from you. And that will do me like that. So now let's take a look at some of these. So of course we've got the Facebook icons, and these are all nice and straightforward as well. So look, Facebook, Google Plus, and LinkedIn. Let's take a quick look to see what they're doing there. So you'll see here, Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, and what is that? I'm not. Well, any more icons? I'll tell you now what that is. Contact name. Yeah. So you got all that. So guys, again, they're just the fave icons, all right. Which cart system would be a good option to use with the product selection on this website? Honestly, Johan, I've never implemented a cart system using Bootstrap. I never wanted to take the full brunt of taking money online from someone. where I build it myself. Because you see, for me, it depends on what kind of web design you are. For me, I do it all. You know, my business was web design, marketing, and what was it? Web design, graphic design, and marketing materials. Yeah, web design, graphic design, marketing, and marketing materials. So that's the thing that I did. So if I was building someone's website and also making their business cards, and also doing all their social media platform and everything like that, I did not want to have that huge pressure of building an e-commerce system on top of it. And PayPal does work fantastically. Oh, sorry, if you want to have something like that, like a PayPal system, that's absolutely fine. That's child's play. Google Merchant PayPal. Alright, that's child's play. But if you want it all contained inside your site, you know, like so they click on the button, they enter their name, they enter their address, and it's all held inside your site, I would highly recommend that unless that's all you do is make payment gateways and make these payment things, I would always recommend you find an outside company that does it. Yeah, because PayPal, that would be web development. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. But you know, after you get to a certain stage, you've already noticed that that web development and web design, even mobile app development, the water gets muddied. It all like once you get at least a year in the industry, you then decide which one of these professions you want to choose. As a web designer, you are going to be dipping into JavaScript. You are going to be dipping into PHP. You're not going to be building payment systems. You're not going to be doing all that. Just as a web developer, it's going to be dipping into CSS, but they're not going to be doing, you know, crazy animations with CSS. They're not going to be working out color schemes with CSS, anything like that, because they don't need to. They're working on functionality. But for payment systems, PayPal is absolutely perfect if you just want to take the money up front. You know, you can create loads of merchant accounts with PayPal. It's nice and simple to use. But if you want to build a payment gateway, I would certainly recommend using a CMS like WordPress or Joomla, simply because the plugins are there. And if anything goes wrong, like if you get hacked or something like that, well, PayPal will have shut that down. You know, PayPal will already have all the security features in there. All right. Dribble. Thank you very much. Dribble. Yes, that dribble icon there as well. So we'll leave those there for now. And of course, you could just add in their social media accounts. So we will actually come back to this exact project in the SEO lesson as well, all right? So we will come back to this exact project in the SEO lesson, just add in the social media links and just to show you how we can link our website to our account. So let me just do this here. So we've got an address up here. Let's just take a quick look at the way they formatted it in the actual design up here. So devs cluster, and that's a span. You know what? I actually like that. C-O-R-A-L, Carl's Surf Shack. How did I hit insert there? Whoop. Insert. Where are you? Carl's, S-U-R-F-S-H-A-C-K. Carl's Surf Shack. P span Carl's Surf Shack. That's fine. Space and no need for camel case there.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, we have the recording.
Sorry, yes, you're correct. C-O-R-A-L-S. Thank you. I was looking at your chat box. I was like, what? I didn't put in a line because your L's in my chat box look like those pipelines. C-O-R-A-L-S. All right, there we go. All right, perfect. So Carl's Surf Shack. We are at, I'll get you the exact location of where this beach is now. So I am in, what beach am I in? I've already got this loaded up in a Google Chrome browser here someplace. Get directions, there we have it. Get directions, just get the directions for Vancouver for now. So I am on Fanro Beach, Fanro, County Clare. So I'll just take that right there. So Fanro Beach, Surf Shack, 36, Bangladesh. We're not in Bangladesh. So Fanro Beach, BR, delete, Fanro More, that's perfect, BR, and County Clare, perfect, and BR, line break, and Ireland, yep. So perfect. So I don't want to put paragraphs in there because that's one address, but address is conformed to have those line breaks in them. Yeah, so you have an address split up like that, so it's easy to read to see what is the name of the place and all that kind of stuff. So we all know how an address works. But so that's why we use line breaks and certainly not paragraphs to break up an address. Lorem ipsum and now let's see if I can put that in here now. So this little comma here. Actually, you know what? I'll take that out. So small. Perfect. So save. Let's see how that's looking before we stick in our little, and then we'll stick in a embedded map, and then we'll stick in that other thing as well. So where's my Carl's Surf Shack? There it is. Carl Surf Shack, Fanro Beach, Fanro, County Clare, Ireland. I think just underneath here is where I want to put that. I will also put in a phone number, yeah? So actually, before I stick in, because we've already covered iframes and stuff like that, so let's see what the most benefit to you right now would be dial-out links. So how do you create dial-out links is something that is quite important on the web nowadays. So have you ever come across a link on the web, like a phone number or a text message, and you're able to click it, and it accesses your phone and tries to dial out? And if you're on a Mac or if you're on a Windows 10 computer, well, then you also click those links and it tries to use your VoIP service or a button in there. Well, they're actually very, very simple to do. There's actually not much trickery going on there. So let me just go in here again. So here we have it. So social media links. So what I'll do is I'll place it right underneath here. In fact, yeah, I'll place it right underneath here. No, what I'll do is I'll play it right underneath. We'd love to hear from you. That's perfect. So the first thing I'll do is I will create an anchor link. So A. My title name didn't change. Which title name didn't change? Oh, sorry, Corals. Yeah. All right, that's fine. That's fine. I'll go up and change that then afterwards. So let's see. So my anchor link is going to be, I'll give it a phone number. So plus 353 83, and then we'll make up a number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Perfect. So A. So with an anchor link, yes. So with an anchor link. So if I wanted to link to something, href. Yeah. So I'd have a href. Yeah. Now, normally I'd link to, Google or to whatever domain I want, but we got loads of other things we can do. We can do stuff like, mail to. We can do mail to. We can also have this great one called tell. Yeah, tell. And then what we do, and actually to make this easier, to actually make it look nicer, what I do is I'll have my normal number showing up like that. Yeah, normal number showing up like that, but then I have the tell. Now you remove your spaces from the tell, and 00353. Yep. So that's how we do it. So I placed in the country code for Ireland before the number as well to make sure that anyone clicking the tell, no matter where they are in the world, it will actually dial the proper number, not give them a broken ringtone. Now we can also do some other things. We can also go text. Does anyone know what the actual protocol for texting is? Can anyone remember what the protocol for texting is? It's not TXT. I can tell you it's not TXT. Exactly right. Yeah, there we have them. There we have them. I'll give you a hint. Beep, 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 beep. That's a bit of Morse code for you, for that. Do you remember those old ringtones? That's the Morse code for the letters. There you have them all. Perfect. Now we're getting it. SMS, exactly. The small messaging service. So SOS would actually have 3 long beeps in the middle, but M is just 2 long beeps. So it's so that's that dial tone that you hear. That text message? That's actually just SMS written in Morse code. So SMS as well. So we can have SMS as well. I'm not sure if you could have the plus in there. I'm not going to risk having a plus. I know that I have tested a plus, and it does work. It does work. I just can't imagine every single phone out there on the planet being able to handle it. I can imagine every phone. I think it would be best to have the 00 in there, simply because that is just that would be just accepted, because it's a digit. But a plus could be interpreted as something else. A plus could be interpreted as something else depending on what browser you're using. So that's why I think it's safe to play with digits. So text us. Text us. Refresh. There we have it. Now what I'll do is I'll also add a line break here. BR. And perfect. Oh. Reload. Now let's see if these work. So let's see. So I've got my link up here and I'm able to click on it. And there we have it. So it's asking me if I want to launch my click to dial thing. So I could click that if I wanted to do it. And let's see, can I text as well? And I can't text. And can anyone take a guess why I can't text? Exactly right, because there is no this computer doesn't have a small messaging protocol. So what I would do in that case is I would try to hold that into a media query. Yeah? So I probably put that into a media query to only display it on a certain device, or something like that, yeah? So you can use media queries to test for your device size, so if it's below 400 pixels, or below, say if the screen width is below, it's below 600 pixels, we'd actually just test for a mobile device, and then we can throw in extra stuff as well. So that's all that. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to take the map, and we're going to embed that as well, so let's just grab that, Fonero Beach. And then we'll add in our special little thing, and then I think that would be a nice stopping point, because we will be coming back to this on SEO day as well. So sorry, maps, and I would like to share this location. So I'm going to share, and I would like to embed this map. So there we go. So I'll just take the default one there. Yep, that's fine. And then I'll go back into my brackets. Whoop, that's the wrong brackets. There it is. And I will put my map just below the contact section. So right there, so just below that div there. So let me see, where does that start? That's my div clear fix. That's my small, medium, offset 2. I think I can put it down here. I think that shouldn't be a problem. There we have it. So we have a contact section. I'll probably make that full width actually. So what I'll do is I'll take that out there. I'll stick it in the contact details section. That's actually probably the best place to put it. Let me just quickly inspect this just so I can see where I'm putting everything. So inspect. So I've got my contact details there. That's nice. That's bigger. Yep. Pattern. And that's a row. And that's it. So I'll put it right underneath the contact details section. That will be nice and easy. So contact details section was right there. And it's right above pattern. What is the pattern? Oh, the pattern must be that overlay. So that's that. And let's go for 100. Oh, sorry, 100%. We'll keep the height of 40. Frame board is fine. Allow full screen is grand. Yep, that's all good so far. So let's save that. Let's go back. Let's refresh. Oh, did I take it above? Yeah, I did. So there we have it. So now we got a nice big map as well. So we got nice little blurbs. We got a contact section. We got a map as well to work from. And now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my get directions. And what I will do is I'll take out that. I'll take out my styling of this button. Just keep it as a normal button. There we have it. Control A. Control. Whoops. Yep. Control A. Control C. There we have that. Go back into here. Go down there. So there's my map. And what we can do. So what do you think, guys? I'll leave it up to you. Above or below? Where do you think this should go? Above or below? The map, I should say. Above the map? We got split responses. So I'm going to count to 3. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, below came in. Alright, so we're going to stick the map in. We're going to stick in that below. Of course, you can stick it wherever you like. So let's save that. Let's take a look. There we have it. So right there, nice and simple. Sorry, guys. Alright, so now that we put it below, I think it might be a bit squished there. So I could mess around with CSS and put on the right and everything like that. But you know what? Because this little thing is up here, and because we got these directions here as well, I think it actually might look very nice to sit up there. So I'm going to just move it up there for now just to see what happens. And just to see how it looks if we let it sit on top of the map. Because I think the code, the way it just falls, actually falls quite nicely. Where that panel up there happens. Yeah, I think that actually works out quite nicely because you see it's right above the directions button as well. You see that actually it might be a little bit off as well. Oh, actually that's perfect. That's perfect. So you see I can't actually click on the map and move around. I probably take around that panel and I can't click on the map and move around because I've placed it inside a container that's got an overlay on it. Anyway, we'll get back to that later. But anyway, I'll be able to. No, I can't use that. I can't do that at all. So let me try that. So there's a pattern there. There's contact details. Get directions. Yeah, take that out. Get rid of that. Whoops. Put that there. Delete. And I want to put you. I'll stick it in here. Let's just stick it out of the flow for now. Just take a look. Whoop. Control S. Control save. Control refresh. Yeah, there we go. So I can't hover over the map, and I can't get in here. I can't really can I even click to get directions? No. See, it's letting me click on my buttons. That's very clever. I don't know how they're doing that. Hmm. I don't know how they're doing that, but what I can do, what I will have to do is I'll have to move it out of there altogether, just for now, because we're going to run out of time. So I'm going to take it out of there altogether for now, and I'll put it above the contact container altogether. Yeah? Place it there for now. Oh yeah, and do you like that little loading thing? And something that works very nicely when you're working with themes. Yeah. So we should touch that up a little bit more. Actually, last bit, iframe. Just take advantage of what is there. Yeah, I think that will. All right, that will do me for now. That will do me for now. We can keep touching this up later. I do like this. This overlay though that doesn't allow you to scroll in and scroll out of the map, because that's actually something that is quite difficult to do. I'm pretty sure you. I remember trying to do it before. You know, just trying to turn off that scroll feature, because what a lot of people have the problem of is when you go like this, like me when I scroll down. It is very annoying on mobile, but it's really annoying on for me on a desktop when you're scrolling down, especially when there's a map halfway down the screen and you scroll down, then you scroll into the map, you know, then you can't get any further and you can't get out of it, especially if the map takes up the full screen. You can't go anywhere to start scrolling up and down. Something to be very aware of as a web designer when you're testing. I'll actually just show you what I mean by that, because this is actually a little annoyance fixture that you should always keep out of your website. It's a very good tip for any web designer out there, is when you're working with Google Maps. What a lot of websites do is they have this big map going across the screen, and what happens is that normally when you stop down to a certain point, and if the map takes up the whole thing, you can't scroll anymore because you've focused on the map and you can't scroll up or down. You can only scroll in and out, and then you have to try and find a little sliver of white when the map's taking up full screen, so you can like shoot out of there and then try to run through it. So it's very annoying. So let's see what it does look on mobile. So let's take a look. So here's that. So here's a tablet. Let's get all the way down to a mobile device. So here's what we're looking at on mobile. Hopefully you can see it very well. So I'm going to have to improve readability on that, yeah? So we still got all the links working, everything's fine. So we're going to have to improve readability on the white text with those blue waves. That's fine, that's still readable, that's fine. Let's see the next image. That's readable enough. I'd probably shade in the background there to make it even more readable. Surfing camps, that's not readable at all. There's too much white crest on the waves with the white text. But you know what? You know what is always visible, guys? Another trick for you guys. It's very difficult to get it right. Very difficult to write. But white text on a black background. White text. Text with stroke can be. Let me see. Text with stroke can be seen on any color. Quick look here. Is there a demo? There you have it. There's a perfect image, perfect it. So white text with a black outline can be read on any color. So there's a nice tip for you guys if you're ever really struggling, and that's the beauty. So text font stroke or text stroke, it still hasn't come out yet in CSS. It hasn't come out in a way that you can use it properly. I saw that one of my introduction web designers, well, I think they were one of my introduction web designers, Shaw Academy Live.com. So you might have seen this project. So you might have seen this project up here. He's actually used some text shadow to create the Pokemon text, which I really liked. That's why I went up to the Shaw Academy Live on the live thing this time around. But he actually used let me see. Yeah, so you see, he didn't use font stroke, even though font stroke is out in CSS. It doesn't play very nicely. It looks actually very kind of graining, really weird. So text shadow can still be used to create a font stroke when you do it correctly. You'll see the way he's actually measured out there. You see -1, -2, 0, -2. When we did the dice, it's the same kind of mathematics, the same kind of mathematical patterns that we're doing to make those 6-sided dice when we're flipping around by degrees, just making sure that we have one on top, one below, one to the left and one to the right, and then one behind. So it's nice simple patterns that we work out. But that is a big tip for you guys. White text with a black outline can be read on any color. Yep. And it actually works inversely as well. Black text with a white outline can also be read on any color. It's just more difficult to see. All right, all right, all right. So what I'm going to do right now while we're still here, so let's just take a quick look at what we've got. So we've got everything. So that's nice and done. So guys, that was 2 hours. Yep. So now we've got a kind of a baseline to work with. So that's 2 hours to take a template. Now I didn't update the logo. I didn't update the logo, but we can work on that. We can work on that for the next lesson. But listen, that's 2 hours right there. So that's what we can get done in 2 hours with using a template with the knowledge that we've learned. So now that we know the HTML and CSS languages, you can start taking all the projects that are out there and you can start editing them. So if any of you want to start, go on to Bootstrap, grab a free theme and see how much fun you can have with it, because you've got all the template down there. Now that you have these languages under your belt, now you can start using them, and you can start, now that we've got all the experience, now you can start branching out and just exploring more. Yeah. So up to this point, I'm very sorry, guys. I'm very sorry for the past few months making you write all that vanilla HTML and CSS, but now you get to reap the rewards of it, guys. So now from this point forward, you start to get to reap the rewards. All right. So hopefully we start seeing some amazing designs coming out here now. Yes. What I will do is I'll post up that place where I got these themes. So what did I say? Bootstrap, STRAP, STRAP templates. I got this one from was it Shape Bootstrap? Shape Bootstrap. So these are the guys I like. They do premium and free themes. To get their free themes, though, all you need is all you need to get started with these guys is just a email address. So let's just go into advanced web design. So I'll give this to you right now. Oh, loads of posts coming up. Bootstrap themes. Oh yes, we will. So actually, you know what? I've got 5 minutes. So guys, there's the Bootstrap themes. What I'm going to do now, so guys, if you do have to run, that's no problem at all. And what I will do just for the last 5 minutes, because I know that Julian does cover contact forms and everything like that, but I will just cover them what it means for a web designer. So I will just go in and I'll just take a quick look at it now, just to show you what's in there. Now it's not going to work because we need a server, because we need PHP. So let's just take a look. So if I just go into my Himu. And if I go into my, where would it be now? In fact, if I fill in the contact form, it will give me an error. And it will tell me exactly where it is. So if I just go down to the end, and we'll take a look. So contact us. ASDF. Does it do any error handling? Yeah, it does. Fantastic. ASDF@asdf.com. That's perfect. So send. So it's in who send.php. Oh, sorry, it's right there. Very good. All right, so I'm going to just edit this with Notepad++ just to make it nice and simple for me to see it. All right, so there we have it. So post name, email, URL, message. So yes. So post name, email, URL, message. Name is the name. Email is the email. Website is the website. It's not asking for a website though. It's not asking for a website in the form. So there's no need for that. But let's take a look. So replace that with your email. So all you actually really have to do for this simple one is it would be just web.design, DESIGN, at Shaw, ACADEMY.com. All right, doc type HTML. And that is it. Your message has been sent successfully. We'll contact you shortly. That is actually all it should take to send this message once it's up on a server. Now I know that you will run into problems when you're trying to run. So the best place to put this, we can test that when we actually stick this all up and we start doing on the SEO week. We stick it up and we link it to Google Analytics and everything else like that, and we can see what we can see with that. But for the time being, that's really all you should have to change with these online forms. And that's even easier because you can see the comments in there. So replace with your email. That's all you had to do. It's that simple. What this is doing here is it's taking the name and it's taking the field known as name. It's taking the field known as email address. It's taking the field known as URL, except there was no URL in that form. and then it's taking the field known as message. So what I would do is I'd take out that because they'd probably get an error message otherwise. And then what it does is it composes an email. So it goes into the email, it gives you the name, and then it goes colon, and then it will actually print the name that it got from up here. Then it goes down to the new line, /n for new line, body, meal, spam avoidance, captchas. Yeah, you can get captchas. Let me just Google a captcha there. We'll see if there's a simple captcha. Simple, CAPACH, PHP form. Google should actually provide you one. Let's just actually grab this one here. Adapted for the art of the web. All right, I don't like these captchas. I don't like these ones. I much prefer. I'm sure if you Google I'm sure you get something like that. You'll get a nice. You will find a nice captcha that will use. So these are the ones that you normally get for free. I know with WordPress, you get the beautiful ones. You get beautiful captchas. But I'm sure like there's loads of them here. That you can just grab and just include them in. You can see they've got all these kind of things. If you do want to learn more about captchas, I'd recommend auditing Julian's course in web development because he'd certainly be covering everything PHP. In fact, if I wanted to add a captcha, I'd probably just contact one of my developer friends. I'd probably actually just contact Matthew and ask him to send me over one of his captcha forms and just put it in myself. How does it get sent without an outgoing mail server? It should actually just send on your own server. Like because you've already got a server and you've already got PHP running. So even though you can't take mail into the site because you're not storing it anywhere, but it should have no problem accessing the protocol to send that data out to you. It really shouldn't have any problem sending the data out to you. All right, but also these PHP forms and stuff. Please take my comments on PHP and the way forums work and everything with a pinch of salt, because that would really be Julian's domain. That would be really Julian's domain if you really want the concrete answers on that. Fantastic. Let's take a look. All right. So let's just take a quick look here. That is gorgeous to see here. That is gorgeous. Does anyone know what this is? Does anyone know the meaning behind the seashell? The Fibonacci spiral. Has anyone ever heard of the Fibonacci spiral? Fibonacci spiral is it's a spiral that's found in nature. Yeah, I'm sure Kevin talks about the Fibonacci spiral quite a bit. So the Fibonacci spiral is kind of like that. Yeah, it's the golden ratio as well. Yeah, so you see it everywhere. You see it in So it's actually built into everything. It's just it's like an underlying pattern that's found in nature, and it's the things that dictate, the spiral of our galaxies, right down to how the shells are formed, how trees grow. Even your body portions can fall into these crazy patterns as well. And it's also used in design. So yes, so perfect way. It's especially useful in photography. You can use it in design. In fact, you can find WordPress themes. Golden ratio. There are like certain themes that use the ratio as well, and you will see some websites using it. I honestly don't think it's that important to web design. I really don't think I really don't think being constrained to a Fibonacci spiral is that important to a web design project. I think it's quite restrictive sometimes, but it does work. I don't know. It seems a bit. I don't know what it is. It seems very normal when you start developing with the Fibonacci spiral. It just seems kind of normal. You don't get these. Like I can tell you that this thing, that's not developed with the Fibonacci spiral. Like you go down the center, you go left, you go right. It's like I don't know. I don't know. It's big and eye popping. I think you start to recognize the Fibonacci spiral a bit much in design, but it's perfect for stuff like photography or when you're actually making actual graphics because it does get everything lined up and it does make it look natural and appealing. But with a website, I think I much prefer freeform. But hey, if you like the golden ratio, you can develop all your stuff with the golden ratio if you can figure it out as well. All right. So perfect. So is that where we were going to go? Oh yes. So sorry. Let me just pack up those development files there for you guys, and I'll stick them into Google Drive, and then I'll post a link up there for you as well. So let's see. Here we are. So images, Haimu, responsive free template. So that is everything we worked it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close down brackets so we can save it all. Close down absolutely everything. Yep. All right. That's perfect. That means that everything has been saved. Let's go back into Facebook. Whoop. And we'll go into our advanced web design group. And what I will do is I'll zip this, compress, please, express, send to zip folder, compress zip folder.
Because we're a growing company and we're going to change to a subscription model, and it actually works out like for the student a lot more expensive. So that's why I kind of really emphasize the fact of lifetime membership, because you have 60 courses at the
Thank you very much for that, Tasir. Advanced web design, Educator, Bryan Hurley. That's actually a very nice graphic you have done. Can I ask you how you did that? Was that Photoshop or was that something else?
then next month when we go and give our subscription offer, our students will have to subscribe.
That's very nice. We'll keep that up there for a while. Photoshop, very nicely done. Very, very nicely done indeed. So let's see, himu.zip. We won't actually call this. It will be Corals Carl's Surf Shack. Class version. Alright, so that's our Carl's Surf Shack class version. Let me just share. Ooh. I'll stick this into my Google Drive so I can share with you now. So advanced web design. Carl's Surf Shack, final version. Share with. So just let my Google Drive now update, and then we'll give it all to you. So, are there any questions so far on this? I will be running. I will have to run in the next 2 minutes. Otherwise, I won't be able to get home. But yes. Perfect. It is a lot to take in. It is quite a lot to take in. But believe me, it becomes much easier. I like your huge task for this lesson here. Like this is where really the last few weeks and months have been kind of have really been kind of gearing up to, was this whole thing where we stick with the vanilla stuff. We just stay with it. We stay with it. We don't get to create all those amazing stuff that look as beautiful as that kind of stuff. You know, that hasn't got all that functionality and all that stuff that we want to add in. We take in everything in bit by bit. You know, organizing our code out in nice ways to do it, and making sure we close everything off and everything like that. For mobile, would it not be better to use separate file links rather than all the links in the index HTML file? Yes, that's perfectly valid as well. It really depends on how small your file is when you're done with it. Like remember, after I finished with that, I would then go back and I would start optimizing all my images. Now that I got all the links in, and now that I've got all the images in, well then I can still compress them. You know, so like after I've done all the code, I can then go in and start editing the image files, because as long as I don't change the file names, well then the images are still going to show up perfectly on my website. So what I would do next is, once I finish the development, I would then start looking at the load times, because remember the final stage before the final stage is testing and delivery. Yeah, so testing and delivery is both at the same time. So you start testing your site, you start testing for responsiveness, but you also try to make it load up as fast as possible. Yeah. No worries on that, Marcus. No worries being iffy on the grid system. The grid system is specifically just for Bootstrap. Yes, the grid system is just a way for us to quickly use is just a quick way for us to use media queries to create a fluid layout. But really, if you try it out in CodePen for a little while, I remember it took a while for it to click with me as well. But just creating simple projects in CodePen can really help further your understanding. Like just create a div, create a container, include Bootstrap, create a div, and then just start giving it the classes like the call M3L6 and seeing what that looks like, and then add an offset to it and see what it does, because that's the best thing. Like when you actually do it yourself, when you tell it to do something and then see what it does, it really creates it's not an emotional link, it's just a memory. I'm not sure, it's a weird thing to explain. It's a weird thing to explain, but it is very, very effective. Yeah, playing and getting used to things, especially with exactly right, Samuel. Playing and getting used to these things. So you see myself, like I'll do something, and then I'll go, actually no, I'll try it over there, and then I'll go, no, I'll put it back where it was, and it's like, nah, I actually like the other way it was. Like design is does anyone know the word I'm looking for? It's subjective, yeah, because this is completely subjective. It's subjective, so you are able to move it around. And remember, your imagination can really go off wherever it wants. But when you try to convert it into an actual physical dimension, and when you try to convert it into a 2D dimension, which is websites in these current forms, like it really does help to put them in and start messing around with them a bit. So let me just see. So share. So I'm going to share this. Carl's Surf Shack, and I want to share it on Google, but how come I can't get the link? Can I share all this other stuff? No. Right, sorry, just go back in here. Oh, sorry. Trial and error, or rather trial and perfection. Exactly, Wayne. But guys, honestly, now that you've gotten to this level, now that you've spent this amount, like I really tried to put this lesson in here because I really want people to get used to using markup languages and using CSS. Because what can happen with a lot of courses, what happens is they get you into Bootstrap straight away, simply so you can build responsive from day one. Simply so sorry that you can that you can build responsive rather than adaptive from day one, and then you move on to Bootstrap very quickly, and then you move into Bootstrap themes almost on your third day, which means that you really get no experience with the actual HTML or CSS languages, because all you're doing is you're just messing around with the actual values in there. Yeah, so that's really what happens. And then when you have things that you don't know what they do, well, then you just don't know how to take them out, or you don't know how to add them in. Yes, that's correct. You never learn how to fully control your work. So now that, because remember, as website, we have to be pragmatic. If someone comes to me and asks me to build a website, I can't build from scratch. I can't use all the latest technology and everything because it would never get done. People don't have 6 months to get their normal company portfolio up on the site. If you have a great idea for an app or a great idea for a new web app, say, like a web page that has some server-side scripting in it, well then by all means code that from absolute scratch, because that will be a long-term investment, something that you're going to be working on for years. Well, of course you're going to want that perfect, from the ground up. But if you're trying to put together a company profile, of course you can open up a theme, of course you can download a Bootstrap template and work from there, use that as your new starting point. Yeah, sorry, I'm still just waiting for it to upload to my Google Drive, and then I'm going to share it with you. That's why I'm still here. But let's just see here. Share with. Still no option to share with. Let me see if I open this up in my actual Google Drive. Drive. Sorry, just move this out of your way. Da, 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 da. Perfect. Oh, that's not my password. I'm in the wrong account. I don't want to go into my personal account. I want to go into my work account. Bryan Hurley is Bryan Hurley. There we have it. Or blah 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 blah. Oh, almost said it out loud that time. All right, so here we go. All right, so if I go into my courses, if I go into my advanced web design group, and if I find my zip, Carl's Surf Shack, and I want the class version, there we have it. So I will share this, and I will share it to everybody who has the link. Get shareable link, and I will get more options here so that everyone, not just showsters, can see it. So anyone with the link can see it. Save, Control C, done. And we're back. We're almost there. So advanced web design. Here we go. Here we go. And Control V. Perfect. Lesson 7, class, project. There we have it. And that's there for you guys there now. Oh yes, I can also do, oh yes, of course I can. Of course I can do that for you guys. I'll stick it into your chat box here now as well. So there you have it. So there, of course, yes. I have some brains there. Perfect. All right, guys. All right. Well, listen. It's been a long lesson. We did get to build a full, well, almost the full portfolio page in just 2 hours. So that's a nice Kickstarter for you guys there. So I can't wait to start seeing the designs popping up ever so often on the Facebook group. So don't forget to keep sharing your work. And if you want to share some of your work to the normal design resources as well, go ahead and do that. And guys, if any of you do want to, and any of my advanced students out there, if you could do me a huge favor, I did ask my introductory students as well. If you could write a review on my Facebook page, I really would appreciate it. I really would appreciate it. I do have some people who are able to get onto my normal Facebook page, and some rival designers are not being very nice. I'd like to put them in their place. So if any of you guys, if you do have the time, if you so wished, could you please leave me a review on my web design page? It doesn't have to be 5 stars, just whatever you fully believe. I'd rather just see the feedback from my own students. So whatever you fully believe. Could you? Yeah. So let's see your color generator. Yeah, go ahead and post your color generator to the designs. Oh, sorry. It's actually the Shaw Academy web design. So it's facebook.com/. If you don't mind, I'm just going to stick into your chat box for whoever out there is so inclined to write a review. But it's just that one there, and then you can just click on reviews there, and then you can just say whatever you want, and then give me whatever stars you want. And this guy down here, I will say to you and me guys, this guy down here is annoying me, and I haven't been able to find him in any of my class lists, but he's here someplace. Yes, I don't believe that he was on my course. Anyway, I want to, yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Listen, thank you all very much. It's been fantastic class. I'm going to go home, have a nice rest, and I'll see you all again on Tuesday. So everybody out there, have a very good morning, a very good afternoon, a very good evening, and a very good night, everybody.